Hey, Foos!
Yo.
It's episode 223 of the Foo Bar Show. Ready to get down on some Justice League talk?
Boogie, oogie, oogie.
Let's do it.
All right. Well,
Which
there's
Justice League? Oh.
the good one. There's much to discuss, Foo. But first, find a bunch of cool Foo Bar Show merch at tpublic.com. Find tons of new merch items like totes, travel mugs, magnets, baseball tees, and regular tees in tons of new colors and styles. Go to our merch page found at foobarshow.com to check it all out. Also, click on the link for my band, The Fallen Electric, at the bottom of foobarshow.com for music and merch, also through TeePublic. Add The Fallen Electric's music to your Spotify or Apple Music playlist today. And lastly, ALF Live Events, man. Whether you'd like to host your next virtual event or ready to go live in person or given the times, Foos, in a socially responsible manner, ALF can help you do it right. They pride themselves in being masters of audio, visual, and lighting solutions. Most recently, Foos, they've become masters of virtual events and meetings, partnering with their clients to produce live events in a socially safe environment. Go to alflei.com to get their contact information. They can be contacted via phone call or email for any questions on how they can help you produce a flawless event. That's ALF Live Events at alflei.com. That's alflei.com. And now, without further ado, Foos, episode 223, here we go. From Filthy Martini Studios in Ontario, California, it's the Foo Bar Show! Hey, what is up, everyone? I am Josie.
With the Foo.
Josh.
And Steph.
Thank you all very much for listening into the Foo Bar Show. Thanks for hitting subscribe, and remember to rate, review, and tell your friends like a champ. You can always reach us and check out our merch at foobarshow.com. That's FOObarshow.com. And search FOO Bar Show on YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, and Instagram. Check us out, drop us a line, and we'll foo it up like a couple of foos. Ain't that right, Foos?
Yeah.
Sifu.
All
You are
right.
correct.
Well, Foos, on tap, we got this.
No. Why?
Oh, here it
Yeah.
comes, here it comes. Anyway, Foos, I found that
fuck you, Steph.
online, and I had to play it.
Well, I do like that song.
Kazoo!
I'm not a fan of kazoos.
Not anymore.
Yeah, I don't know how I think I was just browsing Facebook, and it just came out of nowhere, and I'm like, I need to play this on the pod, man.
Foo, the caves
Worth
of the
it.
internet are very deep, Foo. Be
They
careful.
are. They're very cavernous.
Fast.
But before we get started, because as I said at the top of the live reads,
The thing?
The thing.
The thing.
We're talking about Justice League. By and large, that's the majority of this episode. On tap today is really just pretty much that. No sports, no joint report. We got other things to talk about and geeking out too, but that's really going to be the meat of it. And then we're going to end it up with music highlights and a little Foo Facts. Isn't that right, Foo?
Yeah.
You got that lined up, man.
Sounds like
Foo
you're
Facts,
prepared.
TBD.
My source has to be changed, Foo.
Oh, is your normal fun facts website that you just normally Google not good enough anymore?
No, man.
It's all played out.
All right. Well, before we get into any of that, I have a bone to pick with the Foo. Not so much a bone to pick, but it's kind of like a what the fuck. So earlier this week, the Foo Bar chat room, I never stop learning new things about the Foo, and apparently the Foo thing
Where's
this
this
whole
going?
time. This whole time, the Foos somehow thought that Mexico was in South America.
Oh my God.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
right.
Now, I forget how we got into that topic. Foodie, can you add some color to this? Do you remember how we got into that topic?
I think we're talking about NAFTA, Foo.
I don't think we were, man.
No, Foo, I don't think that's ever come up in any of our
Oh, you know what it was?
stuff.
You know what it was? Josh and I were complaining about our parents not being able to use technology properly.
Oh, right.
So we were on this long-ass, text-only
tirade.
rant. Yeah, that filled up a lot of our feed on this. And then somehow we got to, let's see here. I just screamed out, they're the worst generation, I swear. And then Josh was like, yep, they should all be put in homes. And then and this is true. This is something that I yell at my mom every time I have to do something that's fairly basic in 2021 that should be universally known if you have at least, any kind of smartphone. For the longest time, ever since I was a little kid, because I'm an only child and they really just go to me for everything, technology. I'm like, you guys saw the moon landing live on TV. How is this like a foreign technology to you guys? And then Josh,
they weren't on the moon landing, though.
They saw it live on TV, man. And then Josh was like, these fucks are going to give me an aneurysm. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, the Foo's like, throw that shade all the way down to Mexico, Foo. And I'm just like, South America isn't safe either, bro. And you're just like, that's why I said that. And then I'm like, does the Foo think that Mexico and is in South America? And I just casually, no punctuation, just as a matter of fact, I'm like, hey, bro, Mexico's in North America. And then you posted this the GIF of Trevor Noah going, okay.
Isn't though?
And then minutes later, he's like, dang, Foo, I looked it up. And then I'm just like, I can't believe this conversation just happened.
Oh my God.
And then I forgot who said, somebody just kind of changed the subject. And I'm like, is nobody going to discuss the fact that the Foo didn't know that Mexico was in North America? Did you honestly think it was in South America?
Foo, I got plead the fifth.
Oh my God.
1, 2, 3, 4, fifth, Foo.
Oh my God. This man
got
is
pregnancy brain, Foo.
procreated.
Yeah, it was you actually who changes the subject. Foo, you're like, Wonder Woman CGI is terrible.
Immediately trying to change the subject.
So
I didn't immediately. That was hours later.
Well, it was the next thing on the feed. I'm like, really? Is nobody going to shit on this guy? Am I the only one? So I'm like, all right, fine. I'll bring it up on the pod. So where'd you think it was? Where'd you think this entire massive land that's just south of our borders was?
South of America, Foo.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Wow.
Am I wrong, though, in that statement, Josh?
Well, America's an entire
Is
two
it
continents.
south of America, though?
No, Foo, because it's a part of America. America's the fucking continent, you.
Dang,
It's
Josh.
the United States of America.
Right.
It's south of the United States of America.
There you go. But that's not what I said.
There, Foo. That is correct. That is correct.
Yes.
You
But
just
it's
went a
not
little
on
too
a
far
different
south, Foo.
continent.
The Foo is one of those guys that, when Jay Leno used to do jaywalking and just ask basic questions?
Yeah.
The Foo is
When's
the guy.
the War of 1812?
Exactly. When did the War of 1812 take
1821.
place?
1900?
Oh, my God. Well, anyway, I just wanted to give you a solid shaming there, Foo. And I guess now you know. You
Foo,
learn something
I
every
learned
day.
something new every day, Foo.
That's common knowledge, though.
And that's not even a Foo fact. That's just a regular fucking everyday fact. But
Well, yeah, Foo, we could tell because you didn't do the Foo fact drop. I mean, damn.
Yep. Well, Foos, we have a lot to talk about. We're probably gonna go long on the Geeking Out here, but it's warranted, man. I know that we were gonna talk about maybe doing Podzilla today. That's not happening. Matter of fact, that may not happen for another few weeks, right, Foo? You're gonna be on a sabbatical for
Right, Foo.
for the next 3 or 4 weeks, give or take.
Yeah, man, 3 or 4 months sounds right.
Yes. God damn it. But anyway,
See you at the end of summer, Foo.
the just to remind everybody, the next Podzilla, whenever the fuck it's gonna be the Return of Godzilla, which is the 1984 kaiju classic that you can find virtually nowhere. So
you know what, Foo? I vote that we do exactly what they did when they released this new Godzilla. They waited a shit long.
They waited like 9 years, right?
Yeah, so we'll just wait like 9 episodes. There you go. That's even.
Oh damn.
Wait, yeah, we'll keep everybody on your toes. With,
we'll let you know.
Yeah, at the very, very last second. Before we go on to next podcast, we're going to have a special guest on. He's been on the podcast before. Local Southern California hip-hop artist, Hope. He came out with a new album with a bunch of new cool tracks featuring a lot of cool local artists, which a few of them have been on the show, too. So it's going to be dope to talk to him about that, too. I think Anonymous is on one of his tracks. So yeah, it's gonna be cool.
Didn't he just drop a new song called like Stimulus Food? What do you think that's about?
I don't know, man.
Well, ask him,
Hey,
Foo, okay?
yeah.
Ask him for
Hey,
me.
Foo,
I'll ask him for you.
everyone needs a little hope, Foo. We all need a little hope right now.
Hey,
Yeah.
hey.
We do.
We do. But okay, yeah, everybody stick around for the next podcast to check out that interview with Hope. That should be fun. And I mean, without further ado, you guys just want to get into Geeking Out?
See, Foo.
All right, let's do it.
Okay, nerds, let's go!
Geeking Out is brought to us by Planet, NASA's new event planning company launching on Mars soon. Book your next out-of-this-world event with Planet. Take it away,
I
please.
see what you did there, Foo.
Love again.
I synced it.
All right, well, what are we getting started with today? Because it's not just Justice League that we're talking about, but we wanted to massage everybody into it.
We can briefly talk
We-
about the reason why we didn't have an Attack on Titan on the 14th.
Yeah.
See, Foo.
And, I mean, we plan all of our Sundays to check out the new Attack on Titan for this long and slow-moving
Oh
season.
my God. Talk
Oh,
about
shit.
slow.
Shut the
dude.
fuck up.
Oh, these foos over here. I read the manga, so I am more sophisticated.
Episode 1 through 3 of WandaVision was necessary.
It was. It was.
And what do you think these episodes
Yeah,
are?
you fucking fuck.
Fucking
We have
boring
no
is what
idea who
it
the hell
is.
are Marleyan's in. We're finding them out. We're finding out all the shit we've been waiting for the last 3 years.
Yes, let the hate consume you.
Doesn't even matter.
Ah,
I hate you.
I hate you.
All right, well, tell us all about
Anyway.
that, Steph. Why didn't we have an Attack on Titan last week?
Because Japan had breaking news. They had an earthquake last week, and so the news coverage consumed the airways, and they did not broadcast Attack on Titan. So we were
Breaking news, there was an earthquake last week.
yeah, it was a big earthquake, and they were put on tsunami
I mean,
warning.
they're right on the fault line.
Yeah, and then
Our entire
just
continent island is on a fault line.
Fukushima is no longer inhabitable because the nuclear site fucked up after that one earthquake and tsunami that they got.
yeah, back
Ooh,
in
I've seen Godzilla.
that was 10 years ago.
That was Zilla, wasn't it? I knew it.
Well, just so we were supposed to get 2 episodes this week, but now they're not sure if it's going to happen because they just had another earthquake this morning, 7.0 earthquake, and now they're on tsunami warning.
No!
Jesus.
So
They're on tsunami watch
they're
right
on
now?
tsunami watch.
Oh, damn.
So hopefully no tsunami. I mean, those aftershocks are going to, hit pretty hard too. So we'll see.
Poor Japan,
They-
man. They're getting the raw end of these tsunami deals.
Oh, man. First America, now earthquakes, food.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's been a terrible 50 years.
it's been rough.
I mean, Foo, their history is just built with strife and loss. It happens.
Also, I think it's been more than 50 years. So
It's hundreds
60.
of years, Foo.
More like 60, yeah.
yeah.
Something like that. Ish.
So hopefully, the earthquakes, simmer down for them. Funimation and Crunchyroll might release it for
Everyone else?
for Japan, but they're not sure yet. And then we're not sure if they're going to release the episodes for the rest of the world this weekend.
Yeah, because I think they prioritize airing them in Japan first, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So we'll see. If we don't get them, then they're going through a crisis right now. So
Well, that means that we'll get a whole bunch of them all at once, at least. I'm okay with that.
most likely.
It's cool. I already know what happens.
Shut up, Foo!
This motherfucker. Yes, look at him. Look at the sophisticated gentleman.
Yeah, fucking.
I mean, we're only a week and a half away from the final chapter releasing, which me and the Foo are just on the edge of our seats, wanting to see how they end this. They could either turn the Game of Thrones route and piss everyone off, or they can go, true to Isayama's, vision and upset some people, but it's going to be a satisfying ending.
But
nonetheless.
now you've been reading the mangas with your pinky out, thinking you're better than the rest of us.
Yeah.
But
I am. That's fine.
Shut up. Have they been following it pretty? Like, are they true to the mangas?
Yes.
Yes.
Like
Very
100%,
much so.
or are they taking some liberties and some things?
No,
They're actually streamlining it a little bit better than the manga.
Oh,
it's a lot quicker. Like, I would say the way the show is doing it, they're still fitting all of this arc that was in the manga. Like, and it, like the Foo said, it's just quicker. Like, it's a lot quicker action. The dialogue's a lot quicker. It's just the art style. It's a little different again from what we've seen.
I don't like the art style.
why
But
not?
they look all pudgy and like they look like they're from the 40s and the 50s. They look weird.
It's a softer animation.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. And that's what some people have complained about for this year. But yeah, like right now, the way it seems, we're 3 episodes away from the end, and the last episode is what me and the Foo believe, or the last episode is going to be like where they're going to stop it. Is like when the rumbling is a big deal.
I think they're gonna cut just short because there's a little mini battle before the rumbling starts.
Yeah.
And I think and Jose is gonna be pissed. I think I've said this before.
What?
They're gonna tease that battle and be like, all right, they're about to throw down, cliffhanger. See you next time.
And they're calling this the final season. Do you
Mhm.
do you think it's actually going to be the final season, or is that in
Yes,
quotes?
because no, I think it's going to be the final season because they're going to do movies for the last of it. Because of the amount of material that they're leaving off is enough for at least
a
one or
showdown?
two movies.
Yeah, because
yeah.
they have 2 arcs left, so they could probably drag it into 2 movies covering 1 for each arc.
Mhm.
Okay.
And they had already said that they were exploring that idea, or just creating a new series for the last 2 arcs. But I would prefer a movie. So I mean, who knows, man? Who knows? I really just
they
can't
haven't
wait.
announced shit either because so we really don't know what's going down.
And I think they're really waiting for the last chapter of the manga to release before they announce what they're really going to be doing as far as a series or a new set of movies.
Yeah, because Josh, I think I saw online that episode 16 of this season is going to be called Heaven and Earth, and that's actually one of the chapters near the end of the manga. I think that was only like 4 chapters ago.
Yeah.
So they're going to switch around the manga material a little bit for the anime. So we're going to get a chapter as the finale instead of like way down the line when we should. So the show's going to change up a little bit of order. It's going to make sense still, but they're going to change the order around just a tiny bit. Probably to fit with the season ending type of that makes sense, I guess, to fit in this shortened season. But yeah, I think because they're on pace right now to be like on chapter 112, 113, 114, some shit like that. So they still have 25 chapters to go to cover the rest of the series, and we're only getting 4 more episodes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And what page are they on specifically? Since you're giving all these numbers.
Well, they're giving the chapter that they're going to
Wow,
end
what
with.
a bitch.
He was ready to answer it too.
Fucking call it like I see it.
She's like, actually. Continue, Foo.
Yeah, go for it.
No, I'm done.
All right, fine. Way to go, Steph. Well,
We're
shit.
done here.
I hope our friends in Japan are okay, man, after that earthquake. Hopefully there's no tsunami. And if there is, my God. I hope it doesn't, like, ruin cities or anything. That'd be fucked up.
Just look out for giant lizard footprints. Okay, we need to look out for giant lizard footprints.
Yes.
Explain everything.
Yeah. Well, moving on, before we get into some Justice League talk, which will be lengthy, as previously stated, another show aired on the Disney Plus app. It was the
Falcon and Winter Soldier.
That's right, Foos. Tell us all about what you guys thought about it. I liked it.
It was dope.
I liked it a lot
Cool.
too. You still get the same, film style that they did for the Captain America films,
Mhm,
and then now it's just we're really seeing the after effects of the blip through Sam and Bucky's eyes.
Yeah.
And I like the route that they're taking with Bucky too. Is that okay? Cool. Look, man, you got a pardon. You just got to go to these fucking therapy sessions
Yep.
and make amends. And the way he makes amends is pretty funny. How he
Yeah.
scares the shit out of that chick. He's I'm just making amends, and he walks away, and the police are coming after.
Yeah. Well, he
Yeah, pretty much gets her arrested.
Pretty much.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah. Because she sold him out at one point.
because she was a part of Hydra, right? Like that's what
Yeah.
she was, like a senator or something.
Right.
Yeah,
And also,
Yeah, so-
the real arc that I know that's going to be very interesting because it's so emotional is the fact that he made friends with this old Japanese man
Oh.
whose son was doing like
one-
some studying right overseas or abroad, and he ends up attacking I don't know whatever group that he was set to attack while he was still brainwashed, and he ended up killing this kid who was just standing there at the wrong place, wrong time.
collateral damage, Foo.
And that's the number one name on his amends list.
Mm-hmm.
And
I hope everyone learns, Foo, when your friends invite you out to do more shots at the bar, just go do it.
Yeah, just go. Otherwise, you're gonna get
Just go,
killed.
man.
You're going to get Winter Soldiered.
Yeah.
Is that what we're calling it now?
Whoa! I'm always going to go drinking now, guys. I won't turn down a drink ever.
Yeah, me either, man. I don't want to get
Ah,
Winter Soldier.
dude. Yeah, but that's going to be definitely Foo is going to be an interesting arc. And then Sam's arc with giving up the shield to the museum.
Oh, that's
And Rhodey is going to be in the show like
Mhm.
a lot, I guess, going forward. Since and it's funny when you really think about it, you have the best friends of Cap along with Tony Stark's best friend.
Right.
They pretty much have their own series now.
Mhm.
So it's kind of begs the question: did Rhodey know that the shield would eventually go to a new Captain America, that U.S. agent guy?
I don't think so.
You don't think that he may have known? I mean, he's in the government. You don't.
Well, he was the one that asked Sam. He's like, dude, why didn't you just take the mantle?
Mhm.
So he was like, I think he was more like, why didn't you do it? Like, now there's going to be no
Captain America. Yeah. I mean, it could be it too. But you never know. I mean, government officials always keep secrets, Foo.
Well, and also this newish Captain America does that come up in the comics to you guys' knowledge?
Yep.
Yeah.
His name is Wyatt Russell.
Okay.
Or the actor's name is Wyatt Russell, but his name is Alan Walker.
Okay.
Or John Walker. John Walker. And Wyatt Russell's actually Kurt Russell's son.
Oh,
Kurt
shit.
Russell and Goldie Hawn's
Really?
son.
Oh, that explains the
Yeah.
chin.
Oh,
That defined
Yeah.
fucking chin.
that-
That's a Russell chin
Uh-huh.
for
I
sure.
thought he looked familiar.
Yeah, it's a Russell chin for sure. Yeah. He was in the Black Mirror. I guess he was in that one World War II zombie movie. Damn, I can't remember the name of it. But yeah, he's been in a lot of upcoming stuff. And so yeah, he's gonna be U.S. agent. And U.S. agent is a hero, but he's more like a darker Captain America.
Plays by his own rules.
Yeah. He drinks. He's like a womanizer.
He's an American.
He's an American. Yeah, he's the true American, a modern
The
Captain
modern
America, I should say.
Southern America, Southern Captain America.
Yeah, man. Well, they did. That's an awesome arc because right from the get go, that they're doing Falcon dirty like that because he gave it up to be in a type of museum, and now they just
he didn't give it
down.
up to go back to the government.
Yeah.
So he's gonna be pissed, and he's gonna try and get that shield back in some way.
Yeah.
Well, maybe
And
Falcon
eventually,
will
I think he
stop.
will.
Maybe Falcon will stop being a little bitch and take some.
Responsibility.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, him and Bucky, man, they gotta man up.
Yeah,
These
they're
guys
both
are
a little
strong as hell.
broken. Yeah.
I thought it was interesting that they kind of gave us a backstory when we already know who they are, but they made it work.
They did. It's a nice little intro into who they are now, I would say.
Well, and the blip just kind of shuffled their entire lives around.
Mm-hmm.
So it's
man.
kind of like they had to
Gone for
restart
5
their
years.
lives. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah, exactly. So they got a fresh lease on life, essentially.
Yeah, and
it's gonna be cool.
I was telling Steph after that first opening scene that there's gonna be a sick ton of like drone shots whenever Falcon does his thing.
Man,
that was a sick
scene.
opening sequence, man.
That
So
was
good.
that was dope. That was a nice way to start everything off.
Yeah.
Like to see Falcon in action. And then I don't know if you guys know this, that other corporal that like is following following him around, he eventually becomes the new Falcon when what the hell is his name? Sam, when Sam takes over the mantle as Captain Falcon.
Oh,
Captain Falcon.
Okay.
Captain America, Captain Falcon. Oh, he should be Captain Falcon. Wait a minute, they missed a perfect opportunity.
Dude.
Falcon
Nintendo-
punch.
Hey man, we've already pissed off Japan enough, okay?
Okay, yeah, that's good point, Foo. Good point.
Is there a Falcon and Winter Soldier comic, or is this just for the TV universe?
Let me look that up. Well, you guys continue to talk.
Sorry, Steph, go ahead.
Because I don't really follow Captain America too much in the comics, so I'm not really like familiar with the other supporting characters.
Oh, actually, yes, there is there's a 4-part series of Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Oh,
okay.
Because I know
purchase it online.
I know they're not following the true Civil War arc because in their comic Civil War, Cap actually died.
Oh, right.
So here's the synopsis. After you finish, Foo. Sorry.
Spoiler alert.
Sorry, Foo. I'm just giving you the synopsis of this comic book.
I'm just kidding. I've already read the one that follows the one I was just talking about. It's called Fallen Sun, and that's when Sam and Bucky each try to take the shield up on their own.
So they fight each other for it?
No. Sam tries to take the mantle up, and then he realizes he's not, he can't be Captain America. And then Bucky tries to take it up, except he wears black pants. He's Black Pants Captain America. And he's like, yeah, I'll never have the charisma Steve had. And then when he was done kind of trying to fill in for Captain America, that's when this next fake Captain America came in and started causing issues.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Yeah. Don't forget that Godzilla Captain America. That screams USA.
Captain Kaiju. Captain Kaiju. Well, Foos, so in the comic book series, an office of dead government agents, a gifted new killer, 2 ex-Captain Americas. When a dramatic attempt on the life of Bucky Barnes reunites him with Sam Wilson, the 2 old friends are plunged headlong into a range to uncover the new leader of a Hydra before a mass casualty event announces the terror group's resurgence to the world. So it's pretty much them going up against the new Hydra.
Yeah.
Nice.
Hydra never fucking goes away in the comic books.
When you cut off one head, 2 appear.
See, Foo. See,
That's
it ain't
right,
over. They're still lingering, I believe.
All right.
But yeah, I can't wait to see where this goes because we still haven't seen Baron Zemo yet. We just getting a glimpse of these weird new superhumans from the what is it called? The false flags or flag smashers.
Flag
Mhm.
smashers.
The flag smashers. We're just getting introduced to them. So I can't wait to see what the rest of the series does. It's going to be pretty entertaining.
I like how this first episode didn't even have Bucky and Sam interact. Like they were doing their own thing throughout the entire
Mhm.
episode too. So when they finally interact, I wonder how that dynamic's going to be like, because they probably hadn't seen each other since the funerals that they had to attend, like
Mhm.
Tony Stark's funeral and that kind of thing.
I hope it's some funny shit like they did in Civil War.
Civil War. Yeah, they have charisma when they're together for sure.
Or like they're in the car.
Yeah.
He's like, "Can you move?" No.
No. Or when Spider-Man
He
gets
fucks
flung
him
out
up?
by Redmond. Yeah, he's
Yeah.
you couldn't have done that sooner.
He's like, "I hate
so
you."
much.
It's funny you bring up Spider-Man because in Civil War, what I heard was that Kevin Feige, after seeing the sequence of them working together against Spider-Man, that is what gave him the idea to give these guys their own show. When they
And their
that entire
charisma off camera too, like
Yeah.
their companionship, how well
fucking
they
up,
worked with each other.
fucking around all the time together.
hmm
Yeah.
Yeah, they had a good back and forth, which this essentially is like I would say this series is like a buddy cop Tom Clancy series.
Hmm.
It's like watching, because you get that Tom Clancy feel, like that spy thriller feel,
Right.
but you get that we're gonna get that buddy cop feeling soon once Bucky and Sam get together. I feel
Yeah.
they have that good back and forth with each other.
And so Sam is trying to get a loan, and he can't do it because he doesn't have credit because he's been gone the last 5 years because he's been a part of the blip, which is fucked up.
That
Mhm.
sounds like a loophole, Foo, but we'll give it a pass.
Well, what I'm getting at is like, so is he trying to be a fisherman too while he's doing all this?
He's trying to.
He's
save
trying
the
to
boat.
help his family, Foo. He's
Ah.
trying to
Yeah.
support his family and sister.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and the reason why was because he was gone for 5 years, so he has no income for 5 years.
Yeah.
So they can't give a loan to a guy that was legally dead for 5 years. But it's like, bro, there's millions of fucking people in this world that were doing it. So you're just denying millions of people fucking
Yeah, no kidding.
Bounce.
mortgages?
Damn, the banks are shady, bro.
I
Well,
mean,
that's obvious.
if they were still running off the same policies and procedures as before the blip, then that sucks. But
Sounds
they
like-
wouldn't
sounds
give
like-
them the loan. But I like the way that they did that though, because it shows like life still continued,
To suck.
and people are still struggling. And then when all of those people came back, it just made it worse.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it just shook everybody up. And all of a sudden, all these people just appeared again out of nowhere.
Hmm.
So, I don't know.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting theme because I think, that's going to be the main theme because that's what the flag smashers are about. Like, they don't want any more countries. They just want to be one unified Earth.
Mhm.
So it's going to be crazy to see how that comes into play moving forward. So we only got five more episodes.
Yeah,
It
it's
was
a
a short
short
one.
It's a short season.
Mhm.
Now, is this going to be a series or is it just going to be a one season thing like WandaVision? What do you know?
They're
about
saying that this one is going to be just one season or a series, like a full series that they're going to have a couple of seasons going forward. That WandaVision was solely meant to be a series.
Yeah, and
like
I
a
get
single
that. It was
one-off
pretty.
series.
It was pretty contained. I mean,
Mhm.
in the hex, really, literally. But
Yeah, so
She's
that's
been
why.
in- yeah, she's been in a ton of movies, and we haven't
she's-
really got her background like we have recently.
it was a good
Mhm.
way to bring back Vision. I'll say that.
True.
Was
Yeah,
Yeah, it gives.
and then they're introducing other elements into future movies like Quantum Manium. That's where Jimmy Woo's going to come up again in the next Ant-Man movie.
your boy.
Captain Marvel 2, like the Secret Invasion, with knowing that the Skrulls are still here on Earth
Mhm.
and that we don't even know about it yet. So, and then I heard the Secret Invasion is actually going to be a series. It's not going to be a movie.
Oh, really?
They're gonna, yeah,
I
Oh,
was-
good.
I always thought it was going to be a series.
yeah. Well, I think there was like that first when they announced it, people thought that it may be that there were going to be a movie,
Hmm.
but they just recently, I think they confirmed a couple of weeks ago that it's going to be just a full on series.
I think that would be
Too much
tougher
to cover.
Yeah, I think that would like feel rushed if they made it into a movie versus like
Mm-hmm.
making a good series. It's like, hey, we'll give you 10 episodes or even 6 episodes. It's
Right.
like we can drag this out and give you
Like
a
in
proper
spare
storyline.
no details. Like you have full access to the storylines, and I think that's what's cool about these series is that they're like, okay, look, you can use anything in the character's history, just make it work in the storyline, which
Right.
is like what they did with WandaVision. They used every little thing, Easter eggs and all that from her history to make a very coherent and satisfying, storyline where you
Yeah, and
actually get a satisfying ending.
I don't think you could have done that if you gave her a movie. So it
Right.
worked better.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, because then you would have ended up having something like Joss Whedon's Justice League,
Oh god.
Ah,
Yeah.
which, Foo, I mean, let's just get into it, man.
All
Let's
right.
just talk about the
Are we doing
masterpiece
this?
of Snyder.
This thing was it was like an opera, man. It was an art piece. It was
I don't.
yeah.
It's like a movie, but it's not a movie because movies don't go this long.
I mean, Foo, did you watch Gone with the Wind? Gone with the Wind's
That was a
not
long-ass
just a
movie.
movie.
Yeah.
That's an opera piece, man.
Yeah.
That's an epic.
And that's
Like,
what this
so
was.
this movie was an epic. It was an epic type of movie, and always, man, fucking the scenes were amazing. The things that we missed in the Joss Whedon cut are just so much more satisfying to see this time around.
It breathed, like it gave it time to breathe. And
So the storyline fit.
Yeah, exactly. There was no detail, no stone left unturned. I mean, there was some things that I felt were pretty unnecessary, but didn't ruin the whole movie experience for me.
Yeah, I think there's enough of a movie where, hey, we're able to stay on this dark tone theme instead of trying to be all fucking flashy and infusing a shitload of humor.
Yeah. I watched both. I watched the first one on the Snyder Cut on Thursday, and then last night, to see what the actual differences were, I watched the Joss Whedon version, and the openings are just completely, first off, different.
Yeah.
Where the Snyder Cut, you have the Batman dying literally and screaming, and his scream being heard around the entire
Superman
world.
dying.
Superman
Dying. I'm sorry, Superman. I'm very faded.
Okay,
I'm very faded.
That was a dope ass like picture where you see Superman and fucking
Doomsday?
whatever this weird ass fucking version of what's his face is.
Doomsday food. Still Doomsday.
It's still Doomsday.
Still
Yeah,
Doomsday.
well, it's a weird Doomsday, but still.
Well,
But
it's supposed
anyways,
to. It was directly like from Batman v Superman.
yeah. So like badass, they did the whole 360 view. Fucking sick ass like intro. It's like instead of doing like this caught you up or left off straight from the other movie, so it's pretty badass.
Yeah, it was like a poster. It was like a moving poster.
Yeah.
Like the way it all looked, it was just so sick.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we see the shockwave of his death go all around the world, and that's what wakes up the mother boxes. But in Joss Whedon's cut, you don't have that. Instead, you have this weird fucking intro, like video intro of kids interviewing Superman for their podcast. Fubar Shore, maybe.
Right.
Ooh.
No wonder it sucked.
Yeah,
no
and then after that, you get that weird rooftop scene with Batman and the burglar, which is like, okay, Dick, really? You're a solo burglar working in Gotham against Batman? You really thought you were gonna get away with this, bro?
And then convenience.
Yeah.
Convenience. One of the fucking little drones comes by.
The parademon comes by, and then when the parademon burns up, you see the three symbols of the mother boxes.
Right.
Weird fucking way to introduce the mother box, because that's how they ended up. That was the theme for the intro of Joss Whedon's. It was just those symbols showing up everywhere. You don't get like in Zack Snyder's. You see all of the mother boxes start to kind of move and awaken from this shockwave. Like they explore Amazonia first, then they went to Atlantis.
Yep, that's an awesome way to intro everybody's.
Yeah,
like,
man, that
land,
was more smooth because you saw the immediate repercussions of his death.
Yeah,
And it paid off later.
Exactly.
They explained why the scream woke up the mother boxes.
Yep.
Exactly. And then then you go further and you cut and you see Batman in the snow. Batman's already looking for Aquaman.
Mhm.
And the difference between the Aquaman confrontation now compared to Joss Whedon's, one, Batman, he reveals he can speak in the Zack Snyder cut. Now he reveals he could speak, Icelandic.
Yeah.
And pissed off Aquaman, and then that's when he goes back and forth, and he even has more dialogue with the villagers.
Mhm.
Like the
Mhm.
villagers aren't just some background piece like they are in Joss Whedon's cut.
Mhm.
The one thing, I will agree with you guys on, that song by the villagers wasn't 100% necessary.
A little long.
Well, dude,
I
little long.
I get what he was doing.
Well,
Like,
dude,
he was-
he's undressing and then he throws his shirt down, and as soon as I see the girl go to it, I'm like, watch, she's gonna fucking smell it like
She's
a
gonna
fucking
smell
creep. Watch.
And she does.
Mm.
And I was
And
kind of
she-
hoping she wouldn't, but she did.
Mm.
And she did, Foo.
Salty.
Right.
Yeah, but then I get, they're trying to show the culture of Iceland. That I get it.
I-
I get it.
And I think this is the first time. Well, for me, the first time was the Scream. I actually went back and rewatched the Scream part, and I timed it. It's 4 minutes and 38 seconds, dude. It's a little unnecessary, but
It's got to go around the entire world.
Yeah.
listen here, we don't got to follow it through the,
What did you want him
All
to
the-
put on to like throw on some sunglasses and he's just like
Well, let me make my point here first.
yes.
It was cool. I'll agree with you. Yeah, we needed to see everyone else do it, but the thing with this movie is all these little extra moments like Zack Snyder kept in. So we get a little bit of bad, but it's good payoff. Like for me, just trim it by a minute, dude. I don't need to sit here for 5 minutes being like, man, when is this shit gonna end, dude? Like, is it gonna be 15 minutes of fucking echo?
You got somewhere to be?
Yeah.
I mean, Foo, you knew what you were getting into. You knew it was
Yeah.
a 4-hour movie.
I know, but I'm
Like-
saying like that was one of the opportunities where if they cut it short, it wouldn't have taken anything away from the film.
No.
It's true. That's true. And there
There were other opportunities.
There was a
for
big
that.
There
chunk
also-
at the end where I'm going to talk about once we get there that should have just
Sure,
not
sure.
been necessary. But I get
But
I get where you're coming
But
from.
relative to Josh's point, the Icelanders singing, too strung out. Another opportunity where you can say, hey, you know what? If they trim this up or clean it up, it's not going to take away from the film. But again, this is what we get with Zack Snyder's film, so it's okay.
Okay, Foo. So continuing on this point on this scene,
Mhm.
this scene in the Joss Whedon cut was way worse than what we saw with Zack Snyder.
Oh yeah,
Because in this scene, that's right after, like, they go, pretty much everything's the same when Aquaman goes in the water, and then when Aquaman says that dumb saying, "Don't you know the strongest man is strongest alone?"
Right.
Batman, in Zack Snyder's cut, just actually goes more into a deeper monologue, and then he notices the Icelander singing.
Mm-hmm.
In the Joss Whedon cut, that's when he has that quip. He's like, "That's not a saying. That's not even." He's like, "That's not the saying. That's not even a saying." She's like, and then he has some weird dialogue about Superman. He's like, "Come on, man, I fought with Superman." He's like, "Superman died beside me," and that's when Aquaman's like, "I know. That's why I don't want to do it."
but he says
and-
that in the Snyder cut too, though.
Does he?
Yeah, he
I
does.
kind of I may have like brushed over that,
Yeah.
but then he has that weird. They have that weird scene where he actually shows him swim away.
Mm.
Where
Yeah,
he's, like,
that's
he's in a pool, like literally in a pool with the shitty green screen behind him, and just kind of
like when you
backstrap.
push off the ledge.
Yeah, that's exactly what it looked like. I preferred the Snyder cut better because you just see it's gone. Like you don't see him have to disappear.
direct comparison, man. Yeah, Snyder cut's better, even though they have the little, even though the scenes are drawn out more, it's still better than the original. So
Right.
By
again,
far, man, and noticing these, like, Joss Whedon just purely cut out a good 30 minutes of each section and just put in the little fluff funny pieces. Like that's really
And
his
those
only
funny pieces
contribution.
were, I mean, that's relative because they weren't that great anyway.
and it didn't
Yeah,
match
like the
tone
brunch
of
joke.
the film.
Yeah.
Yeah, it didn't match
At
the
all.
tone of the film. At all.
Speaking of
Not at
funny
all.
parts, I like how the Flash isn't perceived as an idiot in this one
yes.
too.
They cleaned him up.
They cleaned him up.
Yeah,
Cleaned him up
Ezra
much
Miller.
better.
Ezra Miller we're not dreading the next Flash movie now. We're kind
Yeah.
of like, okay.
Like, it's gonna be pretty
in
dope.
that
Like,
first movie, dude, like all of his little jokes is like, isn't this guy supposed to be like a really smart dude? And all of his shit,
why is
like,
he
that
all of a
he's-
sudden the comic relief?
Yeah, I mean, I know the Flash is supposed to be like clever and funny, and sometimes, often, he is the comic relief, but it's that stupid funny, and I didn't appreciate that the first time
Yeah, it was too
around.
much because Barry's still an intellectual person. Like he's a highly intellectual individual,
He's just a little weird.
and yeah, he's just a little weird. And that's where you get the sense with this one. It's like he's not a dork. He's just a little weird, but he's smart.
He's just
And-
socially awkward
Yeah,
is all.
exactly.
Yeah, that's all it is. So yeah, Zack Snyder's was different. The one gripe I had was like, because they still had that same scene when they had to go save the scientists against Steppenwolf,
Mhm.
and in the Joss Whedon cut, it's Zack's. You have Batman hyping up Barry to go in and save one person at a time.
Oh, right.
But in Zack Snyder's, you don't have that. It's them deliberating, we're going to attack as one, and then Cyborg rushing.
Yep.
The Joss Whedon cut was better in this aspect
Yeah, it was.
because the Flash literally sped people out, whereas in this movie, the Flash was like slowly.
He's like,
people
follow
were
me.
still walking
This way.
slow. Follow me. It's
Yeah.
like, Dick, you can fucking speed them out. What are you doing?
Yeah, and
That was a wasted opportunity.
That's
Yeah.
one of those. Yeah, that's one of those moments where, yeah, okay, you could have shaved like the sequence by 3 minutes or
That's
so.
true. I
bro.
forgot
Like,
about that one. I remember not appreciating that.
yeah, it's like
Yeah.
he's like looking at Professor Silas. He's like, "You good? Cool." And
Yeah.
then he just zips
As
away.
he's huffing
Yeah.
and puffing up the stairs.
Oh, your leg's
Carry
broken,
him
but
out,
you're fine,
carry
right?
him. Like, he's struggling, dude. Like, come on, Barry. But anyway.
Yeah, I agree with you, Josh, because in the Whedon version, it does kind of play into Batman being the mentor. So that was the only, like, the Flash doesn't know what the fuck to do, and Batman's saying, "Hey, just save one person, man." And that's kind of similar to how the TV show did it and some of the comics. It's like Barry finally realizes, like, if I just save one person, I'm so fast that I could save one person, and there's still so much more I could do.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
I think Snyder didn't want to use any of Whedon's footage, so we got what we got.
No, I understand that. I mean, it still was good. It was still good in the fact of, showing Steppenwolf fight Wonder Woman, which again, we haven't even gotten to that part yet. Like the part where they changed to where it's Darkseid now fighting against the heroes of Earth.
That
The
was
world,
fucking
essentially.
sick as
I like
fuck.
That was
Yeah.
awesome.
You see
That
Zeus
was
in there.
That was just amazing,
Zeus
man.
was dope.
And
Zeus
then
was dope.
even the Steppenwolf we got, like the Steppenwolf we got looks way better because he looks like a monster. Like these people from Apocalypse aren't supposed to look like normal humanoids. Like they are supposed to have some type of monster qualities.
They're
to
their own
them.
species. They should look different than a human.
Exactly, especially the ones native like Darkseid, Desaad,
Mhm.
and Steppenwolf.
Right.
And I like how his armor like was constantly in motion, like infused around him,
Mhm.
like that.
And then when he went to
that was a
battle,
nice touch.
that's when he got the spikes sticking out, right?
Yep.
Exactly.
that
Yeah.
was dope.
It changed with his
That was
mood.
good.
That's what he
Yeah.
did.
Yeah, it did too. Because when he was pissed, all of a sudden it'd get all like spiky and like start moving.
Right.
So
You know,
It's like a
and
mood
also going back to that sequence of him helping out people. I like the fact that in this new Zack Snyder version, it's more of a where like Steppenwolf has his lair or he creates that power plant. It's
When
more
they're
like
in Russia,
rather than being like
Chernobyl food.
it's like a Chernobyl type of situation. Whereas in the original version, it was just kind of outside of this Russian town, and then they have to save this family, and I didn't like that at all.
yeah, that was
For
100%.
real.
The 100% Joss Whedon food. No, it's true, man. 100%. That was just Joss Whedon adding that family aspect to it.
Dang, fool, I forgot
And
about
yeah, I
that.
didn't.
Yeah,
right?
it was trash.
Yeah, I didn't like that.
Yeah.
Like, this was so much better because
Mhm.
of the fact it was a ghost town.
Mhm.
Because it made sense that he was going to go somewhere that he wasn't going to get a lot of attention. They could still hide out and be protected.
And he used
and speaking
he used the radiation to his advantage too to power up the motherboard.
And I
that
like how-
shield.
Yeah,
I like
there
how
you go.
later Wonder Woman even clarified to say like, yeah, he's in this part. He's in this part of. We all know what she's saying without she's directly saying it.
Mhm.
but it's Chernobyl where they had the incident, 30
Mhm.
Well,
years
I don't
ago.
think it was. I think they gave it a name. It was just
They
wasn't
it had a
Chernobyl.
name,
Yeah,
dude.
it had a
Yeah, it
different
wasn't
name.
Chernobyl.
But that's what it is. It's pretty much a Chernobyl.
Right.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah. So and then oh damn, I lost my. Oh, and in that sequence too, that happens a lot quicker in this movie
Mhm.
than in the Joss Whedon one. The Joss Whedon one happens after they take, like they show that all this happens after they take the second cube. Where in this one, right immediately after they steal the cube from the Amazons, they show him put it in this, the cube in this like metal slate that Desaad pops out, which boom introduces, Darkseid into this whole equation.
Mhm.
And one thing I
See.
loved about the Snyder Cut was that we finally got a full cyborg origins. Like we got a
Oh.
full
Mhm.
explanation as to what exactly happened to him, what his actual powers are. Because in the Joss Whedon one, it kind of seemed like, hey, look, here's Cyborg. They did a quick explanation of him saying, oh, I can do this, this, and that. Whereas in the Snyder Cut, it's his dad telling him, you have access to every mainframe,
Mhm.
you communicate with computers, so on and so forth.
And it's funny that they cut that out because that's so important, and it's so for the entire freaking movie. If Whedon would have just put that 3 minutes in, that would have at least made me appreciate Cyborg a little bit more. He's getting a lot more respect now. If you're like reading all the articles about Cyborg,
it makes sense because he's directly connected to the mother boxes, so it just flows a lot smoother.
exactly,
Exactly.
Vision is to the stone. That's kind of
Mhm.
my comparison there.
He becomes a main component of the story.
Mhm.
And
Yeah,
and
which is
I
needed.
like, which is exactly, it was much needed. Like we really didn't realize it was needed until seeing this movie.
Yep.
Especially what made it really cool too is when they went into Cyborg's mind and it was him. Like it was
Mhm.
Victor when he was before the crash, interacting with everything, because that's how he still sees himself. He still sees himself as the full.
I want that Letterman jacket. The GCU
Dude, yeah,
Letterman
the
jacket.
Still
GC one,
jacket,
dude, that
yeah,
was
yeah.
so badass, man. I was like, I think they have it for sale at
Yeah?
Warner Brothers Studios.
Sick.
Oh,
you
for
guys could-
sure they're gonna have it.
So yeah, but anyway, yeah. So again, yeah, the major differences in this movie, the dark side sequences were all fantastic, especially like that nightmare one Cyborg has before resurrecting
That was
Superman.
fucking dope, dude.
That was amazing. And then seeing Barry turn back time instead of in this one, in the Joss Whedon one, they don't show him turn back time to bring the cube back up. In this one, they literally show him turn back time to bring the cube back up and touch it.
And I like how he addressed that too. He was just like, there's this thing where I could go so fast that I might be able to like affect time.
Mhm.
And it's like, okay, he didn't say travel through or reverse. He's like, I affect it.
Mhm.
And then boom, they showed him already bringing the box up. And that was fucking,
Yeah.
that was clean.
That was so sick. And I don't know, at the time, and you guys tell me what you think about this comment, but at the time, it reminded me of Superman turning back time to save Lois in that one movie.
Yeah, no, definitely. Especially the sequence later in the movie
Mhm.
was very much like that situation. And that's what's cool, man, because again, like the Foo said, now watching Ezra Miller in this performance, I'm excited for the Flashpoint movie that's coming up soon.
Now,
Like,
it's not based on what I'm reading in these articles coming out about what they're doing and who's being invited to play what role in this Flashpoint. I don't think it's going to be a true Flashpoint, dude. And that's
No,
what's
it's
making me
not.
nervous about this.
well, the reason why I believe it's still going to be good, is because we already have the two main elements of Flashpoint.
Mhm.
Wonder Woman and Aquaman conflict. There's going to be a history there because in the Snyder Cut, remember, Wonder Woman said Atlanteans and Amazons have been at war for years.
Mhm.
And then he was just like, well, I'm only half. And he's like, and I don't like Atlanteans either. And so that right there kind of sets up, there's going to be a future conflict between the Amazonians and the Atlanteans
Mhm.
in this future. So like this whole nightmare sequence that Bruce still keeps having, that again, I believe is going to cause another, that may be a part of Nightfall, or I'm sorry, a part of Flashpoint, because we already have confirmed Ben Affleck's coming back. We already have confirmed Michael Keaton's coming back. So we're going to have two different Batmans. So again, I'm just excited. Like the way we saw Infinite Crisis go down, where they were able to utilize the multiverse to their advantage. I think that they'll be able to do it now, and I have faith in the director Andy Muschietti, the one that directed the It movies.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's going to do a good job with this one because Supergirl is supposed to be in this movie too.
Nice.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah. The new the Latina Supergirl
Mm-hmm.
that they
The
just
Colombian Supergirl.
yeah, yeah, man.
Super muchacha.
So super muchacha, super niña. Yeah, man. So again, I've said everything I could about this movie. There's a lot other differences, but dude, you guys just have to watch it to see it. It's just one of those movies where just sit your ass down for 4 hours and just enjoy.
And I appreciate that even though he didn't split it up into chapters, he kind of did within the movie into parts. You couldn't fast forward to them and click on a menu to get to them, but it gave me a reason to go to the bathroom or grab a snack in between because it's a marathon.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. I tried not to drink anything because I didn't want to get up from it.
Yeah.
But yeah, and man, I mean, there's the other big element too that we haven't even discussed was Martian Manhunter showing up in this one.
And that's one of my gripes with this. As much as I was happy to see him,
Go to hell.
I didn't think he was necessary at all.
I think he was because we already got introduced to him as a character in Man of Steel as that Colonel. So by them showing him turn into that, boom, that I was like, okay, he's been around.
Yeah.
He's here. And the fact that made me excited. And then two, the way he went in to go meet Lois, because that's another drastic difference between these movies. In this one, the Snyder Cut, Lois is visibly depressed. She's not going to work. She's staying at home. In the Snyder Cut, or I'm sorry, in the Joss Whedon cut, she's actually still working at the Daily Planet, but only working on fluff pieces, nothing major.
Right.
And that's where Ma Kent goes to speak with her. So, but in this one, in the Snyder cut, that's when we find out it's John Jones pretending to be Martha just to get Lois back out in the world. And if people didn't, I know people didn't notice this, but if you go back and rewatch it, on Lois's nightstand, there's a pregnancy test.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, inside.
And
Yeah, she runs to the bathroom to take it.
And that was an element that Zack Snyder was planning on using for Justice League 2 and 3.
Right.
Because eventually he wanted the child of Superman to be the next Batman.
And I'm not a fan of that, but I don't know.
Well, it would make sense because their child would not have powers. Because I don't know if you guys have been watching the new Superman and Lois movie or show on CW, but in that one they're exploring how their two sons, who are half Kryptonian, half human, shouldn't be experiencing or have any abilities like Clark. But then somehow one of their sons in their teen years is starting to develop these abilities, but only like a fraction of Clark's true power. Yeah. So it makes sense that they wouldn't, because maybe their Kryptonian cells wouldn't take over and absorb the sun like their human cells. The human cells are canceling them out. So I mean, it'd be pretty cool to see that happen.
That would only make that would only make sense because Batman doesn't have an establishment of the League of Shadows yet.
Yeah, there's no Damian in this movie, at least as far as we know.
Timeline, really,
Yeah, in this particular timeline, there's no Robin. We know, Dick Grayson's supposed to be dead.
Well, hang on. I mean, he in that nightmare scene, Joker does say, I killed one of your Robins. He didn't say Robin, but
he said I killed one of your Robins. But in Justice League, there was absolutely no Robin.
Yeah.
So that may lead into he killed possibly both Robins, because he's like, I forget which one again. Remember the dialogue between him and Batman.
Wow, shit.
So, again, I'm sorry. So that would have been pretty cool to see down the road, based off of what we've already seen here. I mean,
it's funny you say that, because that's my issue. If after knowing and working on the Snyder Cut for how long, for all of what was the quarantine that we just experienced in the last year, $70 million later, knowing that this was just going to be a one-off 4-hour fucking opera of an art piece, Why would you plant seeds for a sequel or leave things unfinished? That's
And I'll tell you why.
that's my
Fu.
logic.
And I'll tell you why. For fan service, because he wanted to give the fans everything possible, because that was his original plan. And
Fu,
WB just shit on it.
And Fu, I don't know if you actually read into the additions that they did, because they did reshoots. They said they only added like 5 to 10 minutes of new footage.
Yeah. I think a lot of it had to do with Superman, right? And his upper lip.
No, that was the Joss Whedon one. That was the Joss Whedon reshoots.
I know. That's what I mean.
No, he's talking about the Zack Snyder reshoots.
Yeah, I know.
Shut up.
No, you don't.
Shut up.
Fuck.
Amber Heard was one of the major reshoots, Fu, and they just really did her and Willem Dafoe scenes. Everything else
and her stupid accent.
Everything else was just cut. So all of this was filmed previously. It was just all cut by Whedon. So they didn't add much. So that was the original plan. They didn't add in all these extra elements. They were supposed to be there from the beginning.
Yeah, Whedon instead just chopped it. Like, he got the original cut, he chopped it, and he even put different scenes in earlier places. Like the scene at the very beginning monologue in the Joss Whedon cut where we show Lois looking at her bed. That doesn't happen until like 2.5 hours into the Snyder cut. And it, like, you could tell Whedon legit just gutted it and only kept what he felt he could work around. And that's the main problem. The main problem is that the WB just chopped fucking Zack Snyder's knees from under him before he could fully finish this movie.
Well, he had to exit
release it
too because
and edit it. Yeah, he still needed to edit the CGI. Away. Yeah, but yeah, and I think the reason why, again, he's just like, hey, I'm leaving it all out there, man. Even though we're not gonna get what I planned, this is what I had planned, and if you guys like it, say it. So I think that's why fans now are saying renew or revive the Snyderverse. Like, there's now a petition to revive the Snyderverse, which meaning let's continue on what he just fucking made for us, because this is what we wanted. We wanted the dark side conflict to be, out there. Like, we finally got to know too what the anti-life equation is. And that's a huge component with the Justice League and Darkseid, is that the anti-life equation is on Earth. And for those of you that don't know what the anti-life equation, I'll tell you. The anti-life equation is the one mathematical equation that proves that humanity and everything else, all mortal beings are meant to serve and be enslaved. And so what Darkseid does is he uses it and he possesses the minds of everyone in the universe under his mind control, and they become his slaves. And this is shown in the comic book series Final Crisis, where Darkseid comes to Earth finally, and he finally gets his hand on the anti-life equation, and everyone kind of becomes mind zombies to him. Like, all of a sudden, everyone's eyes start turning red, families are turning against each other.
Even Superman, right, is under his control at this point.
Superman is weakened by this point, so he's having and then Batman and the Flash are really the only ones, or Batman's the only one that's really down to go up against him. And he finds this Omega gun that is like the only thing in existence that can kill Darkseid. So spoiler alert, everyone. Batman decides, hey, I'm gonna just fuck it. I'm just gonna go up against him. He confronts Darkseid. He shoots the gun as Darkseid shoots off his Omega beams, and then out of nowhere, the original Flash, Barry Allen, comes out of the Speed Force and guides the bullet into Darkseid's brain and helps kill Darkseid.
Sick.
Because up until this point, Barry was supposed to be dead because of the Infinite Crisis. Like, this is supposed to be like a continuation of everything happening after Infinite Crisis, when Barry gives up his life on a cosmic treadmill and becomes the new Black Racer. So that's how Darkseid dies, but Batman dies. And this is when Batman truly dies in the comic books, when Darkseid actually kills him. So it's a arc that I feel that if they keep on the same track with this Darkseid, they could do that. Like, because they've introduced the anti-life equation, and they can be different and do the Final Crisis theme as one of the next Justice League
and
movies.
it doesn't have to be a long multi-part thing like the MCU's been doing. Like it could just be a nice contained few movies.
Didn't we see
Yeah.
something like this in an animated
Yeah,
movie?
I think we did.
Yeah, we saw it, right?
Yeah.
Because I'm like, that's
Apocalypse War.
Yeah, there we
There
go.
you go.
The Apocalypse War. Similar, yeah. Yeah,
Very
exactly.
similar.
And that's very, very similar. And Apocalypse War happens in the New 52. Though this one I felt the animated one was more like a mixture of Final Crisis and that Apocalypse War, where they kind of put those two themes together. But yeah, just again, man, this Justice League was just amazing. If you guys haven't watched it, you got to get your asses on it any way you possibly can. Yeah, and then the last piece that we haven't gotten to yet is the epilogue, the big 30-minute epilogue.
Didn't need it.
That was dope as fuck, dude.
It was fucking. I don't care if we didn't need it, Foo. We got it.
It was
and I
dope.
love it.
It was dope, but we didn't need it.
I needed it, man. Yes, I needed it because I needed that Joker Batman fucking confrontation finally. It's like
Let
if
her
we're never
redeem
gonna see
himself.
these two Batman Jokers interact, or this Batman and Joker interact, I would have been upset.
Dude,
but I'm glad
and
that they gave it to us.
I was like, as the film went along, I'm like, okay, I know he's in the movie. It's been going good. Please don't bring him in yet.
Mhm.
And then we're like, last hour of the movie, I'm like, for the love of God, please don't have him anything to do with how this plays out the final
Yeah, don't
battle.
leave it on a cliffhanger, man. And then all of a sudden he shows up. It's just
Yeah, so
but the way they did it.
it was sick.
Yeah, the way they did it, his monologue was actually pretty good. His speech, even the way Ben Affleck played off of him, I felt like it was like, damn, I would have really been interested in seeing a Batman movie with Deathstroke and Joker and all of them in it.
And I've been shit on since Batman v Superman came out about how I really like Ben Affleck's Batman, and I think this is redemption for his
Yes.
Batman specifically.
Yes, his Batman, and then even Jeremy Irons as Alfred.
Yeah.
I feel like this Jeremy Irons was so much better than the one that they had in Joss Whedon's Justice League.
Mhm.
We saw his interaction with each of the superheroes, like with Diana trying to make tea, and he's just nervous that she's doing it wrong. So he's mansplaining. He's mansplaining to her how to fucking make a cup of tea, and then he still makes her a cup of tea in a pot and takes it to her.
Yeah.
And then the other cool part was like in this one, they showed him creating and working on the technology for those gauntlets that Batman has.
Which is why it explains why he was able to ward off survive the beams coming out from Superman when he was attacking him.
Mm-hmm. Exactly, man. Exactly. And they didn't show that in, again, another casualty of Joss Whedon's cutting that scene.
And for that scene too, I like that they didn't shove it in your face that it was another kind of like Martha scene with, I brought in Lois as my secret weapon. She just came out and said, stop,
She's
yeah,
already
she
there.
just happened to be there. Yeah, she just happened to be there.
Yeah, that was way better than the other version for show, Foos.
Yeah. I think the other version, they were really trying to pay off that Lois is the key scene from Batman v Superman.
Yep.
And yeah, again, because it wasn't even Joss Whedon's baby, he didn't know how to execute.
Yeah, and it was more contained and relevant to Martian Manhunter saying, hey, don't give up. Like,
yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it made more sense.
And it was just in that lens only, instead of like the Justice League's big weapon is Lois Lane. It's like, fuck you. That's not good.
Yeah.
Yeah, and because in this one too, Batman even alludes like, I got a vision from the past that said Lois was the key, and then Wonder Woman alluded to, yeah, she's the key to saving all this. And he is like, nah, it's something darker than that, which again leads into that epilogue. It's like, no, like Lois's death is really what's going to cause Superman to go insane.
Go
And
nuts.
I mean, we've seen that in
like
a lot of other media.
The
in
building
Justice.
blocks are
most
there
recently.
with that pregnancy test.
Yeah, Foo.
One question I had about this movie was the scene
Yes,
where...
Steph from the Foo Bar Show. Go.
Yes, hi, this is Steph from the Foo Bar Show. I have a question.
Sweet.
First
Hi,
time.
Steph.
So
Long time, first time?
Long time, first time. So I really like this movie, but my one question is, why did Superman go to visit Alfred?
So he didn't know where the guys. he didn't know where everyone was.
Okay,
So he
so
knew where
Alfred
to go.
drove him there, which is why Superman took so long to get there to the fight.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, thank you.
What?
He needed a ride.
Yeah.
No, like really,
His
like
car-
like
His car broke down.
Could
No,
have just
but
given
for
him a
reals-
map. The
for
guy could
reals,
fly
though,
there. For
he
fuck's
can
sake.
he
No,
can
no.
just listen
No, no,
for the
but-
fight.
No. For reals though, Steph, because remember he's in Kansas with Lois and his mom shows up, and then
Right.
they have that scene where he's just like, I have to find out why they brought me back.
Uh-huh.
So he goes to see Alfred because that's
He has to
where
find out what's going on.
he that's where he thinks they might be, or at least that's
Yeah.
where he thinks he could ask Bruce, "Hey, what's going on?"
Yeah,
Okay. All right.
because
That
he has
explains
no
it.
idea what's happening.
Yeah,
So that's why
I-
Alfred was there to give him
I like-
hey, bro, shit's going down.
Dude, I like when he showed up, and then it was kind of cheesy, but when Steppenwolf tried to hit Cyborg with his big axe, and then
and he hits
Superman
him.
uses ice breath. It
Yeah,
was
he's
cheesy,
just like,
but it was like, okay, all right.
No,
We're getting-
but-
he's like, I'm not impressed.
Like that was probably my favorite part in the whole movie because you actually saw how powerful Superman actually is,
Really is.
and how like insignificant Steppenwolf
Steppenwolf is compared to him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's why the
Yeah.
mother boxes. That explains even more why the mother boxes didn't wake up until Superman was dead because they were afraid of Kryptonians.
Yep.
Exactly.
And I was like,
Because they knew what they could do in
"Fuck
that. Yeah, man. It was satisfying as all hell.
It was a little his one liner was cheesy, but I liked what they did. So
It's on
It was,
point.
you know what though? It was like it within like the element though, not like Joss Whedon's, which were just completely did not fit. Like the
yeah,
tone
exactly.
was different.
This one liner could have put on some sunglasses and just finished off with the.
I didn't know. I didn't know David Carradine was Superman.
Superman.
Stupid.
That let's talk about costumes though.
Oh yeah, the costumes.
The fucking black Superman suit.
I
Oh
like-
That was
my
amazing.
God,
I
yes.
like when
That was amazing.
they're
It was
closing
shiny.
out the film, and then someone, he goes to the alley and pulls it out.
Mhm.
I was
Whips
totally
it
expecting
out.
to see his. Yeah, I was expecting to see his, red and blue, and when he got the black, I'm like, "Fuck yeah, dude, this
Oh,
is
yeah.
dope."
Dude, hell yeah! The black one, the black Superman suit is the best one by far.
Way better.
Yeah, the costumes that
Mhm.
that costume for him was better. Steppenwolf's, design and costume
Oh, they
was,
beefed him out.
was much better. Yep.
They
100%.
even adjusted Cyborg versus
Yeah.
the Whedon
They
version.
made him.
And the
Yes.
Flash. The Flash didn't look all metally. It was more leathery looking.
Yeah.
Well,
This-
Yes,
did
you
you
finally
notice-
saw the under
Yeah, did you
shirt.
notice? I noticed on one of like his scenes that he actually has like wires attaching.
They're
some of
I
his
think they're
plates of
bungees
armor
or
together?
something.
Bungees.
Yeah,
I think so.
Yeah, they're like he has wires that attach the plates, like the shuttle plates
Yeah.
together.
Mhm.
Mhm.
That's what creates. That's the whole.
I
Suit.
thought it was a more rougher type of look, it fit well.
Well, because he's like a one man operation. Like he's not gonna have a team of guys put a suit together for him, which
Yeah,
didn't make
and-
sense for that metal looking one that he had in the original
Hey,
Justice League.
don't make fun of Cisco Foo. He's a good Flash assistant.
All right.
Fu, he comes back as Vibe in the new season of Flash,
hmm
so it's pretty dope.
He's vibing.
But yeah, I mean, and then his scene at the end when the big fight, when Darkseid, the Unity finally connects and Darkseid's coming through and
Unity!
everything is just Unity, cold blooded.
We couldn't stop saying that throughout the movie. Every time they say, I'm like Unity.
Shut the fuck up. Bunch of goons.
Yeah, like we saw Barry turn back time completely.
That was
Um,
dope as fuck.
That was great, man. That's
I
what we
was-
should have had. And
I was like, after I saw that, I'm like, they could totally do a Flashpoint now. Fuck yeah.
Mhm.
Hell yeah.
yeah,
I really
definitely.
like what they did with they improved the dynamic between him and his dad too, being in jail.
Mhm.
They let that one breathe.
actually their scenes were much better.
Oh, yeah.
It
Were
sucks
much
that-
better in this one.
It sucks that that actor's not coming back in Flashpoint though.
Yeah, he's doing that show, the morning show on Apple, so it's conflicting with his filming schedule.
Yeah,
so
they,
that's why he's not coming back
they already
for
recast him.
Flashpoint.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, but I still think they're going to probably do it pretty well.
Well, they recast
it-
what's her face, Amber Heard, and I don't think anybody's going to care.
Actually, it's gonna be
happy.
hotter finally.
Did
yeah.
did she have an accent in the Aquaman movie?
No.
No.
Nope.
No,
Then-
no,
oh
not
my
even in the
God.
Joss Whedon one. It's only in this
It didn't make any
fucking
sense.
film.
Also, hey,
Not
she
at
just
all.
gave zero
Foos.
fucks.
Foos, did you also catch that difference from the Aquaman movie where her dad's alive and in the Snyder cut she's like, my parents died a long time ago and your mom took me in?
Yes,
All
I did
right.
catch that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did catch
Oh.
I
that.
didn't. Yeah. All right. That makes sense.
But this
So
was
there's just-
this was before the Aquaman was filmed, right?
Yeah,
No,
but
this was
yeah,
yeah.
but
Like
why
the
would
sequence of events.
why would her dad be alive in Aquaman then if she
Because
just said, like, my
their
parents died?
studio is not as on point with each other as Marvel is.
Hmm.
That is where
I mean,
that's
I
their
get it.
biggest flaw. That's Warner Brothers' biggest flaw,
Well,
man.
If they would have just watched the movie.
they don't
They watched their own movie.
But they're like, fuck that, pay us. No, okay.
Where's the quality control?
You know, and speaking on the black Superman suit, one thing that I wish that they would have thrown in is the mullet that he sported during the comic books.
Oh, that was back
You know,
in the
he actually-
80s,
he-
dude.
Henry Cavill actually wanted to bring back
Yeah?
the mullet.
Yeah. That
But
would've
Zack
been-
Snyder,
They said, Zack Snyder said no.
Zack Snyder's like, nah, man. Nah,
with
let's-
the with the beard and the mullet and the black
Beard.
suit. Yeah, that's like straight
no
out of the
cape?
comic books. Yeah,
Yeah.
no cape.
Yeah, no
That'd be
cape.
fucking dope.
Yeah.
that would have been amazing.
Yeah.
That would have been an amazing
Fucking
Superman to
mullet,
get.
dude.
But hey, man, it's all right. We
Was
get
it?
to see him with long hair in The Witcher,
Yeah,
That's something
okay.
else though. But all
All
right.
right, I'll take that.
but still, it works.
Okay.
Anyway, yeah, this movie
Hot.
was just jam packed with material and 100% fan service. I
Ooh, that
mean,
bar-
I'm satisfied.
That bar never would have got our patronage if they released this movie 4
Dude,
years
we
ago.
spent so much money on alcohol that night.
Oh yeah, God, another alcohol
We
filled
spent
night.
like 3 or
just
4
trying to
bills.
Yeah.
I did.
Drinking our woes
Drinking
away.
our sorrows. But yeah.
So Fu, not only did we get a different tone of this movie, the musical composition was far better in this Zack Snyder cut than in Joss Whedon's. In Joss Whedon's, they had a lot of rock, other high, hype or high energy rock and roll. Like the bar scene where Aquaman's like save that dude. One in Joss Whedon's cut, they have him have alien blood on his hands from saving the guy. And this one, he just legit saves a dude, and it's just like, "Hey, man, it's on him." He
And
walks
then
out.
we get a minute and a half unnecessary walking into the harbor, Foo. And you know what? Again, this is just, this is the little bit of bad with the overwhelming good, which is okay. But Aquaman's just like, you should have respected the sea as he progressively downs the whiskey and throws
Right.
a fucking bottle of glass into the sea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking
Yeah,
pollute that
was
shit.
poorly timed out.
That was
Like
poor
that was
form,
just
yeah.
bad.
Again,
What are
the
you doing?
overwhelming good outweighs that, but I'm just like, come on, man. Like,
And
You live in the fucking ocean.
and I guess every time he jumps into the sea, he has to take off a t-shirt. So I mean, there's just a bunch of t-shirts all over the sea now?
dude, that's
I
what
mean,
I'm saying.
He's he's leaving some leftovers for the homeless people.
He's making sure that everybody
He's
gets
doing
wet.
it for the ladies.
Yeah, I know.
Actually,
Yeah.
he doesn't believe in global warming because it's cold down there.
Well, that causes the seas to grow, Foo. He's for it.
No, man.
Damn.
He's a douche.
But so continuing on the Joss Whedon cut though, they have Iggy Thump play him out, which I felt did not fit
Oh.
whatsoever. That was so weird, especially when they showed him diving and it just trails off.
That was
It was bad. It was
How did
again
you,
bad musical composition.
How did you Foos like the Willem Dafoe scene?
I thought it was okay. I had no
I
opinion,
thought
really.
I thought it was a good way to introduce Volko. I would have liked
too.
if
Yeah.
they had done this because then we would have been prepared for Volko and Aquaman and
Mhm.
seen
Mhm.
what the relationship really was.
I mean, like,
Who
who else would try to convince Aquaman under the ocean to?
Well,
to say, yeah.
Yeah.
and I
And I
and
felt
I
like
think
he was the right person.
and I think what makes sense before I get into another universe breaking flaw is that in the regular Justice League, he just straight up shows up to like Atlantis, right? And everyone's like, "Oh, we know you," and it's like, "But how do you know?"
You're Queen Atlanta's son.
Yeah, and it's like,
Mira's the one that has to figure it out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we had no indication. At least with this, we get some indication that they
He's
know of
known.
each other's existence.
Yeah.
And also, one thing I wanted to point out, they didn't use the little air bubbles in the other movies.
That's where I didn't like in this
Yeah.
one, that they had to use these weird air bubbles to speak, when in the Aquaman movie they did it well. Like, hey man, we live, like, why do you fucking need an air bubble if you live underwater all the time?
Bada
Like-
bing, bada boom.
That's just waste. I mean, you're just wasting fucking your own time and suffocating yourself by taking
The-
out the water.
The only time it did come through, the only point of this that matters, I should say, is that when Mira is about to fuck up Steppenwolf and she
Oh yeah.
She
takes
uses it.
takes the air from him and is like choking him out and you can see blood coming out.
Yeah.
Okay, that was
water
dope.
magic. Yeah.
And I guess
And-
that kind of made the whole bubble thing relevant. But again, just a
Well,
flaw.
if you're gonna talk to your compatriots underwater, it will get a little muffled. If you introduce a little air, you'll probably be able to hear each other a little better. But that's just me.
But I mean, Foo, if you were born in the water and you still live underwater
I
and
get
you're
it.
still okay.
I mean, in that
So-
same scene, she was trilling to the other guards.
So, Food, they need the air pockets to talk, but Superman's echo can make it with no air pockets. Got it.
Listen, man, this is gonna be one
It
of
is
my
air.
this is gonna be one of my yeah, but still moments. So I think it's best we just move on.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, Foo. Okay, I agree. I'll take it. I'll take that.
One other thing that just was a minor annoyance was every time Wonder Woman got introduced, it was before we got into her like "dun-dun-dun-dun-dun" music, it was "oh righty there" fucking opera music,
opera
and I'm
music.
just like, this is just unnecessary for every fucking scene she is appearing in.
That you know what?
Foo, it's Greek music, Foo.
I get it, but the first time was the only time it was needed.
Foo, she's a god though.
I
Like,
didn't.
you have to play the trumpets for her.
I didn't think that the sequence with her in the bank was necessary, or that might have been a little too long for my liking too.
So, Foo, actually, I'd like to point something out
Mhm.
which improved the
Exactly.
movie. Before, in the Snyder cut, she was like on a totally different building across from town.
Mhm.
In the Whedon cut, in the Snyder cut, it's actually she's on top of the building they're robbing. So,
No, actually, Foo, it's the same. I just watched it.
is it?
And they're on the same building, but here's the key difference with this scene. One, the fight is shorter in the Joss Whedon cut. Two, there's no visible images of these fucking villains getting their brains smashed on the wall
Yeah.
like you saw in the Snyder cut. Like
I was sick.
like you literally see the blood on the wall from this
Mhm.
dude
Yeah.
going head first into it.
Mhm.
In the Joss
True.
Whedon one, you don't see that. Like, you see them go, but then it's just there's no blood on the back of the wall, and it's cut shorter. And then afterwards, like when she does the two gauntlets together, it doesn't show the whole building blowing up. It just cuts. The scene cuts, and then it moves on to Bruce being in fucking Iceland. So again, yeah, it was a little longer. The slow-mo scenes, a lot of the slow-mo scenes could have been cut.
Unnecessary.
Only the Flash ones would have made sense in my
I
opinion.
liked them.
because
I like the slow mo. That was just me. I didn't mind if they add them.
No,
Yeah.
no. I mean, some of them were good, but I'm saying there
I like
were
them all, though,
a
is what I'm
couple
saying.
that they could.
There was
Oh,
too
okay.
many.
I like them. I like slow mo.
Well, regardless, it was still a great movie, and I think we're pretty much ready for our reviews or our ratings. So, Steph, let's start with you. What's your rating?
I give this 100% because I like it, and I haven't seen this movie since we saw it in theaters. So for me, it was a completely different, brand new movie.
And it was.
Yeah, but I think you're doing a direct comparison of the old movie to this one for your ranking. I think that's unfair.
I can't even remember
not,
the first
though.
one.
She just said that she's not Foo.
Listen,
She
fool.
said that. she said that she's not comparing this to the first movie. She's seeing this as a completely different movie since she hasn't seen the first movie in 4 years.
Yeah.
So this is better than Gladiator? I call bullshit, dude.
We
I
weren't
call
even
bullshit.
talking about that
What?
movie.
How does the food? That's
What?
apples and oranges.
What's
You're not even making
happening?
sense.
This is why. Oh my god, I'm not even gonna. You know what? Moving on.
Yeah, well, that's just like your opinion, man.
100%. Get the fuck out of here.
I mean, Foo, it's a fair. I mean,
They
to each
gave
his
me
own.
everything I wanted to see. It was a good movie, lots of action. I liked all the fight scenes and everything, and even the epilogue, which with Joker and how Jared Leto redeemed himself as Joker. Cherry on top. Boom, 100%.
all right. Now for a real review. Josie.
Yeah, man. Let's get to let's talk to some reasonable folk. Josie
yeah,
from
let's
the
talk to
Fubar
a-
Show.
Fuck out of here.
Let me, all right, guys. Well, hey, long time, first time. This is Josie.
Hi, Josie.
Big fan. Gonna give a shout out to Steph.
No, no
Okay,
shout outs.
hey.
No
No
shout outs.
shout-outs?
I'm sorry.
I'm,
Yeah,
I'm
no,
still
no.
I'm still on the line.
Oh, you're still on the line.
Oh, you still
Get
on
off
the
the
line?
line.
Someone hang up on her real quick.
Oh.
please.
Hang up on yourself, Steph. So I gave this one a solid 90%. Now I know what the food's gonna say. You gave WandaVision an 88. Well, the WandaVision is a fucking TV show. I'm talking about a movie, a fucking feature presentation. Not only that's me separating the two.
Okay.
As a movie, this is gonna get a 90%. For a lot of the reasons Steph gave it too, but because they let a lot of it breathe, it all just made all kinds of sense. The music tied in together. There was some scenes, like I've mentioned, that were unnecessary. For example, the Martian Manhunter scene. Him being in the movie at all kind of, I don't want to say ruined it or killed it. That's not what I'm trying to say, but it wasn't needed, especially considering how in this entire run in the last year, knowing that we were going to get a Snyder cut, like I've said before, it was supposed to be a one little package, and if to never to be heard from Zack Snyder or collecting a check from Warner Brothers ever again. Knowing that, okay, now there's mumbling saying that there might be an opportunity for him to return to direct more of these movies, which if that's the case, okay, cool, but knowing what we know right now, and I could change my mind later, it's not necessary to have that Martian Manhunter appearing, and it wasn't necessary to have the epilogue at all. As cool as it was, I would have been okay with Clark opening up his shirt, revealing the black S, and then fucking credits. That would have done it for me. Splooge everywhere. Everybody get out of my way. I'm going home at 100%. But no, because of that, it actually dropped it for me at a 90.
That's fair.
Okay.
I know. Okay, Foo. Even though we pointed out the flaw in your conversation earlier, that's fine.
Still a fair evaluation.
Yeah.
Because
I
it's a
agree.
positive one, so I'll take it. Take it, Foo.
Give me that fucking backhanded fucking compliment. Piece of shit.
Foo, would you like to go?
Thanks
or
for your
would you-
input, but don't ever give it again.
Yeah, no kidding. Jesus Christ.
You're wrong, and I'm gonna tell you these reasons why.
And this is why.
You're wrong, but that's okay. It's okay to be wrong. It's okay to fail, Foo. It's okay to fail because we learn. We learn for next time. So it's okay.
Not on the Foo Bar Show.
Not on the Foo Bar Show. You keep that shit away from here next time.
Yeah.
But it's fine. It's cool. Foo?
It's cute, dog. Well, for me, I'm gonna give it a solid 88. It's a B plus
Despite
movie.
the Foo? It's despite Josie?
No, not despite the Foo. Not despite the Foo. I just think, again, the good outweighs the bad. And the bad's not like
Terrible.
crazy.
Yeah. It's
The bad's
terrible.
not like, fuck, this made the movie dumb. But there was stuff that didn't make sense. All the stuff we've talked about. For me, the slow-mo was like, God damn, dude, can we get a break from the slow-mo? The whole cyborg thing. So every part of the movie had cool stuff, but followed by not so cool stuff. Like, what was the point of Cyborg giving that lady $100,000? We'll never see the lady again.
It humanizes him.
That shows he's a hero, Foo. Wouldn't you?
I
do
mean,
the
he
same?
just committed bank fraud. I don't know if he's a hero.
Yeah, he is. A
Yeah,
hero.
Foo. fuck the banks. We established this. Fuck the banks.
It's true.
And then
Welcome.
And
also,
it could have been that Office Space logic where he was just taking fractions of pennies from all kinds of corporations and just putting it all together to give her all this money.
yeah, but they were gonna catch him in the end, bro. So
Whatever, dude.
okay,
This is an Office
and
Space,
then
though.
and then when he got caught hacking into the school system, his mom's like, he's trying to help somebody, and he could be like, but yeah, hacking is cyber theft, and we could technically, throw a felony on him. But yeah, you're right. Being a good person is more important. So it's just
Well, his dad is the head of Star Labs, bro. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm sure he has some fucking pull with his government
well, that's
contracts.
why. Like, there's just little, very minor annoyance things,
What makes
Sounds
him
like
human?
nitpicking.
which
It's
is why
showing that-
I'm like, which is why I'm so close to being in the A range of movies, but it's a B plus. It's really good.
The food doesn't like real American heroes.
He's a
that's
flawed.
Apparently
He's
not.
a flawed person. Like it just shows how human he is. He's trying to do things, thinking that he's doing good when in reality, objectively, may not be the right thing to do. But not he's trying to do the right thing, although it may be a little flawed. And at the same time, this guy's a fucking robot. But I think they're
Food-
trying to drive that point.
But
Yeah,
I'll let
and
you
again,
guys
that was just an
understand
example.
DC.
That was just an example of
Okay.
like little stuff that's not adding up. In addition to everything we said, the whole Barry just fucking, hey, how you doing? See ya. Oh, you're gonna be okay climbing these 6 stories of
Yeah.
stairs? Cool.
All right.
All of that little stuff
Mhm.
just shaved off the 2 points to make this an A grade film for me. So it's almost there, dude. It's almost there. And if they could have shaved off a little bit of that stuff, I think this would be like a 95, 100 rank. So,
Yeah.
and I think you agree, Josie, if they somehow, some way found out a way to shorten this film by 30 minutes, we're looking at a goddamn masterpiece here.
Yeah. All right. No, that's good. While you could be wrong in some aspects, I
Hey.
respect that.
Foo, I already told Josie, and I'll tell you this: it's okay to be wrong, but don't bring that shit here again. Keep that shit out of here.
Yeah.
Hey, guys,
Now-
we all got rights, all right?
all of us.
Now,
Oh,
Foo,
Jesus.
where I kind of agree with all of your points. I do agree with Josie that yes, the musical composition was far better in this one. The movie breathed, like it had a natural progression to it. The scenes that were there, amazing. Like just everything I was hoping the original Justice League to be. And I do agree with you that there were those inconsistency scenes where I don't agree with you on the cyborg part. I do agree with you with the Flash issue where he's just slowly running around them as opposed to actually just carrying them out, which would have
And the
been
Nordic women,
Arson.
don't forget those Icelanders, dude. Just we didn't need that.
yes,
We
yes.
didn't
That
need
was
it.
not again, that was another unnecessary bit. However, there weren't that many unnecessary bits from as far as a storytelling aspect. From the story that he was telling, it did seem like a lot of those scenes that were included, they were needed because we've seen what the movie could be without him. When you compare it to that shitty fucking Joss Whedon movie. I mean, again, I didn't even finish that goddamn Joss Whedon movie last night. I stopped at an hour in. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it to Zack
It's
Snyder
tough.
after I just did.
It's tough.
After I just watched it. Yeah, man. And for that reason, I give this movie a 90. I still give it a 90. There were some parts where they could have maybe cut down a couple of the slow-mo scenes, or at least shortened them. They could have shortened the, shout heard around the world a little bit, not too much, but they could have maybe shortened it by a couple of minutes, just to at least get the idea across. Like, hey, man, this shout's waking up all of these fucking machines. But yeah, I mean, I still give it I give it a 90. I give it a 90 out of 10. It's long as fuck. So that kind of goes into my rating as well. So it's still a great movie. Fucking one of the best, comic book movies I've seen. It's up there in my opinion with Endgame and Infinity War.
What about Dark Knight?
Dark Knight's on a whole other.
That's a whole
whole
nother
other-
thing, dude. That's
Yeah,
100%.
dude, we don't-
That's why Steph's 100 doesn't make sense. Like the Dark Knight is
Yeah, Steph's son. That's why we don't count Steph. Okay, she's just like she's like that sick kid that you just invite onto
Oh,
your
what
show
the
as
fuck?
charity. She's like,
Guys, you guys, I'm still on the line.
hi Steph.
Steph.
Hey, that thing I said about being a sick kid, that was just a joke.
It was a metaphor, but for like dope.
Yeah.
Cut off the line now. Cut the line.
Yeah.
God damn it!
Shut up.
God damn it, Steph.
I did it in
But
spite
yeah.
of you, Foo. In spite of you. Because you hate
Definitely
everything.
a rewatchable 4 hours though. It's something I'm probably gonna go back to
And don't
again
forget,
in the next couple of days.
Don't forget, Foos. They're going to. You might want to wait on that, Josh, because they're going to release this in black and white. noir
Oh, I
style.
can't wait. They're still doing that color correction for the black and white version. Which is gonna be
Oh
so sick.
my.
And so one thing to tack on that has a little to do with my review. I like that. Well, no, hindsight being 2020, us knowing how Joss Whedon was treating his staff and his actors, and the reason why the actors were not only disappointed with his final product, but they were actually pushing, especially Aquaman. What the fuck is his name?
Jason Momoa.
Yeah, Momoa specifically was the one that was just like, we need to get this fucking Zack Snyder cut out because not only is it a better story, he's a better person who deserves a better chance to get his story across.
Mm-hmm.
I can respect that, and now knowing how shitty he was treating the people over at the Ultron set, which makes sense to why Ultron was probably one of the not one of the better Avengers movies that came out. Still all right movie, but it wasn't one of the better ones,
Yeah, it's not what we were expecting.
Yeah.
Especially for the storyline that it was supposed to be. I know a lot of Marvel fans were expecting more of an epic. It didn't. It was, it fell short of that expectation. We still got a pretty decent performance of
What a waste of James Spader, dude.
Spaderbot.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, you're telling me, man. Complete waste because that was one hell of a performance he busted out for that movie. Fusi, that's some pretty heavy shit that Joss Whedon's put them through, especially Ray Fisher. I don't know if you read all of the stuff that's gone down with him. Like it's fucked up.
But you know what's even more fucked up about that is that WB actually kind of sides with Whedon on the Ray Fisher thing.
Yeah.
So it's like,
It all leads to the head of Walter Hamada. Like he's the one that's just really letting all this shit happen, and he's, in my opinion, the reason why WB is failing when it's coming to these comic book movies, because there's no cohesion. Like he's more worried about the fact of the rating of the movie, not worried about the content of the movie and the context of the movie. Like this Zack Snyder was rated what, TVMA or R? R, right? Yeah, and the Justice League one by Joss Whedon was PG-13 because he wanted the kids to, get to watch it. And I get that.
It's all metrics for him, and I understand it. I get I get it too.
but that's being like too microscopic, I believe, and
too micromanagerial in my opinion, and
very short-sighted.
Very
Like
very
you got to
short-sighted.
understand the big picture, and this is a guy who evidently does not understand the big picture of the story that's trying to be that they're trying to tell. Because that means sequels. I mean, has he not been noticing what's happening over at Marvel in the last 10 to 12 years? Like, what the fuck, dude? Like, this can grow to something bigger. Don't be so short-sighted into just getting a huge paycheck for one mediocre movie.
Exactly, man. It's frustrating. It's frustrating to see that this is happening to such a rich property too, because the many storylines that they could be fucking going off of with DC, and they're not releasing anything. Like nothing's being released. Nothing's really even being like, directors are afraid to touch it because of the oversight of Warner Brothers.
And they have such a benefit of them not being split to other studios like Marvel has with their X-Men and Spider-Man properties. They actually have the benefit of having every single freaking character under their guise, and they don't know what to do with it. They should know, and they have examples of what to do with it, considering what's been going on over at Marvel. But what
yeah,
the fuck,
I
dude?
mean, it's going to be interesting to see how creative control goes forward because with James Gunn Suicide Squad coming up soon, that may be their game changer. And there are talks of James Gunn even just being involved in the future with DC and having control of their
He's
universe
going to
or
be
like having
DC's
input.
Feige, pretty much.
Essentially, like they're hoping that they could bring that same element from Marvel to their DC universe and grow on it, which would make sense because hey man, like just like in any sports team, if you see that a team has a bunch of fucking great players on it, start pulling them over, man. Start signing over free agents and see if they could help you out. So
Yeah,
um
exactly.
yeah, they got to get their heads out of their asses. And I mean, we'll see, man. I mean, Warner Brothers so far let Zack Snyder just do whatever the hell he wanted with this. So far, even Mortal Kombat coming up, that looks like it's great. And then they were even hands off with that. Like the director Sam McCoy legit told them, like, hey, look, I need fatalities, I need the blood, I need everything.
I need a hard R.
And if yeah, he's like,
R.
I need it to be hard R, and you guys can. And if you guys are not okay with that, then I'm not doing this movie. And Warner Bros. Is like, all right, you have it. You can have it
Yeah,
all,
man.
man.
They got to stop watering that down their good content.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
I think
And
HBO is going to be dope as fuck with the releases this year.
speaking of Mortal Kombat, it was confirmed that a lot of it, well, a lot of key scenes were shot in that 4:3 aspect ratio, specifically for IMAX purposes.
Mhm.
Not
So
the whole
we may be
movie. He's not saying it's going to be a 4:3 like it was for Snyder Cut, but
No, but at
lot
least
of it is.
they
Snyder
can
Cut
release
wasn't
this
a
in
4:3
IMAX.
Foo.
Those-
the math works out to a 4:3 and change or something like that. I'm just rounding up, Foo.
Wasn't it 9:16 format
916 is your widescreen format.
or
It was the 331 or some bullshit.
It's 1.33 to 1, which, if you do the math, is a 4:3.
It's a 4:3.
It's a 3.99 by 3.
They say it right before the movie starts.
Yeah, they round it up. I round it up. Everybody's rounding up, Foo. For fuck's sake.
It's a different ratio. What does the numbers matter?
Yahoo.
Micro.
Cunt.
Oh,
All right, Foo. Well, I think we've talked this. I'm not gonna say talk this movie to death. There's plenty more that I'd like to say, but I think we hit all the important points. And
definitely.
And Foo, I know that we wanted to close out the Geeking Out with some bullshit that you wanted to talk about.
Oh my god.
What? What's going on?
You tell me, man. What's going on over in your world?
Yeah, food. Didn't you want to talk about some guy in orgies with a bunch of white women and stuff?
Whoa! Foos. Actually, I wanted to talk about the Bachelor Foos.
Same difference.
Yeah.
No. The difference this time is we got a first ever in Bachelor history, Foos.
Uh-huh.
We got a black Bachelor, Foo. It's finally the black man's time to shine.
Okay.
Nice, Foo. Only after 16 seasons.
Yeah. What took him so long?
More like 20, but you know.
Damn, they're in the 20th.
Damn.
Hey man, it's a good show. You don't know what you're missing out on.
I've seen. I can understand how it can draw people in, especially if you have a wife who relentlessly will make you watch it. Luckily, my wife is not one of those. But Foo. Yeah, so tell us all about it.
So this was an epic first time The Bachelor had a black bachelor, you know, Mr. Matt James. And there was a little bit of controversy that popped up midway through the show that didn't make ring headlines in until the show was near the finale.
Oh.
It was a unique season. It was very not political. It was very like woke, and like one of the girls called one of the other girls like a whore or a hoe.
Mm-hmm.
And then like when he sat down to be like, why did you call the girl that? And she's like, it was out of context. And he was just like, can you explain to me any context calling another woman a whore is okay in?
Yeah.
And the girl had nothing to say. Because like, you know, being politically correct, yeah, that's not the best. There's no good way. There's no good conversation you're trying to have.
It made for drama though on the show, I'm sure.
Yeah, exactly. But like he called around on that, and he actually called out a lot of lying on the show, which was like unseen before.
Mm-hmm.
So he was very woke and whatnot. But something that happened near the end of the series is we didn't know this until the end of the series, but the person who we picked up on being his final, lady, they didn't get engaged. He got cold feet, but he's like, "Hey, I want to be with you though." And she was like, "Yeah, I'm down. Like, I want to be with you."
Mm-hmm.
So they got together, but we didn't know they were picking this girl. It had actually leaked out a few weeks earlier that one of the contestants actually attended an antebellum theme party.
Oh, I think I heard about that in the news.
Yeah, and then the real controversy surrounded the host, Chris what's his
Chris
face?
Hansen?
I forget his name. Chris Harrison.
Hansen.
No, it's not Chris Hansen.
Is that Chris Hansen?
No, it's
No.
Chris Harrison, Foo.
Whatever.
That was the Catch a
Chris
Predator guy.
That's right. That's Chris Hansen.
So Foo, Chris Harrison, when the story came out, like just past the midway point of the season,
Uh-huh.
instead of him trying to be politically correct or like kind of like, get in front of the issue, he actually defended the chick going to the antebellum party and was like, he took her side.
Yeah.
And that pissed off America, Foo. So Chris Harrison is on.
He's on hiatus, right? As the
He's
host.
He's like kind of on permanent hiatus, at least for the time being.
He's been canceled.
They fired him.
Yeah, he got canceled.
Yeah.
And that wasn't, that was the focus of the story. Well, lo and behold, Foo, 3 and 4 weeks later, the person he actually picked to be his woman was the chick who attended the antebellum
Holy
party.
shit, Foo.
Yeah, so the network made a whole thing about it. They replaced Chris Harrison for the whole after the final rose, which is like a recap of the end events of the series, and they brought in Emmanuel Acho, who's a ex linebacker in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
A black host. First time they ever did that.
Mm-hmm.
And dude, it got real real quick.
How so?
They immediately they brought in one of the girls, the dude Matt, like one of the 2 finalists. Matt actually told her the night before the whole finale was like, "It's not you." So it was no surprise he was going to go with the last chick.
Oh wow!
But like the chick came on the show and was like, Emmanuel Acho was like, "Hey, did you get that closure from Matt?" And she's like, "I asked him for closure and he said no. So I got no reason why." And I was like, "Oh, fuck." So they brought him out and called him out and was like, "Yeah, you're going to tell Michelle why you didn't give her closure?" And he's like, "Yeah, that was my bad." So it's like, all right, I guess.
So he still didn't provide the closure. He's like, "Yeah, that was my bad. That's it."
Yeah, he talked around it. So
Nice.
he looked like an asshole. And then we get into the
All
whole.
of these people are terrible.
Yeah, and Josh, I think you were away, but there's a contestant attended an antebellum party.
What the hell?
Yeah, and lo and behold, she was the final gal with the Black Bachelor. Just to catch Josh up real quick, so it all makes sense to him.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? I didn't need it, but thank you.
Sure.
Thank you.
Anyways, they bring the chick on the show, and they ask her what's going on, and then she's like, "Well, so and so's happened. I've made an apology, which people did not like." And then the guy's like, "So what's up with Matt? What happened?" And then she's like, "Oh yeah, he broke up with me because of that." And then the show fucking gets the host is like, "Let's show the picture of the leak of her attending the party." And I was like, "Holy shit, they're showing the fucking picture on fucking national TV, dude." Dude, they put this chick in the hot seat, man.
What was she? What was the deal with it?
Well, it was just a picture with their friends, but like, dude, attending an antebellum party is pretty fucking racist. Dude.
Is everybody wearing like hoods or something, or?
No, it's like it's a celebration of like pre-war times.
Yeah, pre-Civil War. Yeah.
Yeah. So she was like, "Oh, I didn't understand it," and then the guy was like,
"Not in 2021."
Yeah, he was like, "You couldn't like look it up."
Mm-hmm.
Well, the interesting thing was it happened in 2018.
Okay. We weren't
So they
that
bring
woke
out-
yet, is what you're saying?
Yeah, so they bring out The Bachelor, and The Bachelor's just like, that's not a good excuse to say, oh, I did it so long ago, when 3 years ago was not so long ago. He's like, you want to know what was so long ago? Being on a plantation in America, being black.
Yeah.
So like, dude, the show got fucking nuts, man.
Got meta real quick.
Okay.
The show got really woke, dude. So they wrapped that all up, and then at the end they brought out the last two, or the next Bachelorette contestants, and they revealed there will be 2 Bachelorettes going forward. Foo.
Oh wow! So it's going to be like a menage a trois.
Something like that, Foo. Not exactly, but you're on the right track.
All right. All right.
Like, oh, okay.
I'll tune in.
Drama aside from the antebellum party, like, what is the attraction to this show?
The
Like,
drama.
like,
Yeah, the drama.
this show's dumb. Like,
You're
it's
dumb,
dumb.
Steph.
Like, it's
Steph,
dumb.
I think you're dumb, Steph.
Oh, damn. That was a perfect time for a Foo Fact.
But yeah, anyways, it was a weird ending. They straight up called everyone out on live TV, and it was a very uncomfortable finale to the show.
Mm-hmm.
Especially because they don't know what's going to go on with Chris Harrison going forward. So
I'm on pins and needles, Foo.
I could tell, man.
Well, hey, thanks.
Anytime, Foo.
Let's never speak of this again. No, it sounds interesting, and I can see why it drew you in so much. But I don't know, man. The only reason I've seen some seasons of The Bachelor is because whenever, this is before Steph and I were married, when we were dating, I'd go over her house and her mom was watching it, and I'm like, well, her mom just cooked us dinner. Let me stick around. And of course, I'm just sitting on the couch, and yeah, I can see how it can draw you in. Like, I don't want to mistakenly, start watching it because you'll finish the fucking episode because of all the drama that goes down. I get where you're coming from. I'd rather just not be presented with that situation because I get it, man.
But not only that, but the Foos been watching this show for years. And when we used to, when we were all living separately back in the day, we would go to the Foos house and then just marathon Bachelor. Hey, you guys want to do something? Let's watch The Bachelor.
That's not true.
Not
Josh, how
marathons?
many times did we watch The Bachelor when we lived at the apartment?
Not once.
Exactly. So fuck you.
Nothing.
That's right.
It's happened. Snacks. There's snacks all around.
It's Bachelor time.
It's fucking Bachelor time.
It
I'd be
was a
sitting on
Bachelor
the
pad,
floor,
not a Bachelor
and then
event.
you and Foosy on the fucking futon. Bachelor.
I was
that's
just
not what
there to
happened.
get high.
Yeah.
I was just there to get high.
Yeah.
Shut up.
That was like way back when you lived with your mom.
No, one thing that I miss from way back in the day, Foo, was remember when we would go on these benders of Greg the Bunny episodes?
That was the real draw, Steph, okay?
Man, I harken back to those. That was a simpler time with our group, man. Those Greg the Bunny season 1 IFC episodes were masterpieces.
Oh, dude, they're great.
Yeah, I have the DVD if you guys are down one of these days.
Well, I got to watch as much as I can before that little baby gets here, Foo.
Well, it doesn't mean the little baby can't watch it with us.
They're
The baby
puppets.
will not be watching that with
What
us.
do you mean?
Puppets. Life lessons.
Oh, you're gonna nerf everything for this kid?
Oh.
Yeah.
Ah,
Wow,
great.
Foo.
All right.
That way they can
Every
actually
time.
get it. Unlike me, they can actually get a scholarship to college, and I don't have to pay for that shit, dude.
Sheltered
I'm playing
kids.
I'm playing the long game, bro. Okay.
Sheltered kids are often the most rebellious. Rebellious?
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 Rebellious.
Rebellious?
Got it.
Rebellious.
Rebellious?
Yeah.
Rebel? I can't even speak.
Rebellious? Wow.
I'm just
Got a
making shit
master's degree and all that.
English, motherfucker, do you speak it?
up. No, and we know
Obviously
this.
not.
Happens every
Goddamn,
pod.
Steph. See, this is why I can't let the baby watch this bullshit.
It just fries your brain.
Well,
This is why the baby will never watch Auntie Donna.
Oh,
Good. No, I'm okay with that one. That's fine. That is fine.
everything is a
Fucking
drum.
everything's a drum,
That
Foo.
show
I know
is
everything's
not
a drum
necessary.
poo. I mean, I'm going to leave my wife for it one day.
Should have signed a prenup.
I actually like that episode.
Yeah. No, it's funny, man.
Yeah, it is.
Well,
Dude,
anyway,
I already got to wait till the kid turns 9 to watch Star Wars, man. Fuck.
9?
why 9?
Wait, 9?
Yeah.
Why 9?
Oh man, you're gonna
That's
be a lame
that's
ass
when I first saw
parent,
Star Wars.
So show him earlier.
right?
No.
Start him
No.
off with the Clone
Why?
Wars, and then build up. to
Dude, this
movies.
kid will not
It's a
have
prequel.
access to. This is gonna be the perfect child, okay?
Yeah.
That's what every
Fu-
time parent says.
Okay, Foo.
Oh god.
You're gonna end up causing more damage.
Yeah, no kidding.
Hey, man, they're
So-
off my plate at 18. All right, that's all I got to say.
I'm gonna teach this
The
kid
fuck
how to
outta
shred on
here.
guitar, whether you like it or not.
You know what, man? Do what you like, but we ain't.
You know-
she ain't visiting. She ain't visiting those damn dogs. That's for sure.
For fuck's sake. All right, man. Well, that's going to do it for Geeking Out. Everybody stick around for the music highlights. The music highlights is brought to us by Pirate Brand line of trumpets. Hit those high C's with a Pirate Brand trumpet. Anyway,
Thanks, Foo.
anytime.
Our food.
No, that's not a note.
He wouldn't know.
Anyway, Foo. So on today, I wanted to talk about one of my favorite Canadian bands that's doing the rounds these days, The Dirty Nil. I've played a couple of their tracks on this show before, and one in particular that stands out to me is one that they came out with on called Blunt Force Concussion. And it's a little different. It's a little bit, I don't want to call it poppier, but it's a little bit, they use more major chords, I guess, which is makes it more appealing if you're more into that pop punk type of alternative feel, but it's still a good song nonetheless. So everybody check out Blunt Force Concussion by The Dirty Nil.
Wanna catch a flick, let the meter tick in the parking lot outside of theater number 6, where the woman doesn't kick like she used to anymore. Give me 1/2 dozen blunt force concussions, crack my head in 2. Just don't put me through saying I love you. Wanna take a walk? We don't have to talk. It's probably better that way. And it's getting pretty late. Yeah, that's what I'll say when I leave you with the check to pay. Give me 1/2 dozen blunt force concussions, crack my head in 2. Just don't put me through saying I love you. Trust me.
But this is off of their album that came out last year in 2020 called Fuck Art. And I recommend everybody check out The Dirty Nil's earlier work, too. If you guys don't remember me playing some of their tracks in previous episodes, these guys fucking kill it. One of the best 3-piece bands in rock and roll today. Moving on, number 2, if you guys weren't aware, Royal Blood also has some new songs, and they have this album called Typhoons coming out in mid-April. So that's coming out soon. One of the singles on this album is the single Typhoons. So check this out.
Rip the plug out the radio, switch me off, put me under, till I'm sky high, give me vertigo.
Yeah, these guys, one of the best two-piece bands that I've ever seen in my entire life. Just the dude on a bass and the guy just ripping it up on a drum kit. I've seen these guys a couple of times, once at Coachella, and they fucking killed it. They have the same kind of energy that like Muse would have, but just with two guys. And then the next time we saw them together, I think, Steph, we saw them at a K-Rock Acoustic Christmas.
Yeah, Acoustic Christmas.
And it was like, at Acoustic Christmas, you get a lineup of a bunch of cool bands, and you only really get like a half hour to 45 minutes. These guys leave you wanting more, no matter what. I don't know if are you familiar with Royal Blood, Josh?
Yeah, I've heard Royal Blood. I like them.
They're fucking sick, dude.
Good food.
Yeah,
man.
Yeah,
Good
explore them
shit.
a little bit more, man. Another band that I brought up a couple weeks ago was Death from Above, 1979. Another two-piece band that's just drums and bass. They are. I think that Royal Blood employs the bass distortion and effects a little bit better than Death from Above 1979. It like I said, they have that Muse energy, especially when they play their shit live, because not only is this guy running through a bass amp, I've noticed that he has two amps set up. I think one of them is going to like a guitar amp and the other half of the signal is going to the bass amp, creating this full band noise. And it really fills in it rounds the noise coming out of this band. It's fucking amazing. So if you got a chance to check out Royal Blood when the world opens up again, man, do it. You won't regret it, especially if you're a Muse fan. It's the same kind of charm and feeling from it. But anyway,
Nice.
Last but not least, we have, as it is a tradition, has been at least for the last few months, in the Foo Bar Show to bring up This Week in Music History. This week in 1977, T-Rex, the famous T-Rex band, played their final ever gig when they appeared at the Locarno in Portsmouth, England. And I wanted to play the song that we all know and love by T-Rex, Bang a Gong, Get It On. We've heard this song in countless number of soundtracks throughout the years. That movies have used this for like period pieces. Whenever they talk about the 70s or even the late 60s, they'll bring out like a T-Rex song. This one in particular, and T-Rex was one of those bands that I don't think they were considered punk, but they were one of those bands that was very pre-punk and very much an inspiration for the punk scene when that came out, because the punk scene didn't really kind of flourish until the late 70s, and by then these guys were already over with. But I think that them, the MC5, they really inspired bands like the Ramones and the New York Dolls to do what they did in the late 70s, and then give way to the early 80s punk scene that really kind of England took it from there. They took that baton and ran with it, but it all came from guys like this. And I don't know, man. These guys, you can't hear the song without kind of just jamming to it. I know that, Josh, you were bopping your head a little bit when this was going on, and one of the lyrics to this one is "Bang a gong." The Foo, you love gongs, you love the Gong Show. You don't like gongs, dude?
Come on, Foo. What's wrong with you?
Come on, man. Everybody likes a good gong. Everybody likes to get it on too every now and again. All right, I guess the song wasn't for the Foo. Shut up, Foo. Fucking Foo.
No, because he likes The Bachelor.
Thought I knew you, Foo. I thought I knew you.
But anyway, that was the music highlights for this episode. And as stated earlier in the episode, stick around next week for Hope, who's a local hip hop artist. He's going to talk about his music project that just came out and the latest effort that really rounds up everybody in the scene here around the Pomona area. All the hip hop artists that all got together and did a lot of features for each other, which is pretty dope. So everybody stick around for that. And everybody stick around for the Foo Facts right after this. All right, Foo, you want to get started with some Foo Facts?
All right, man, let's do it.
All right, well, before we do that, Foo Facts is brought to us by High Stakes. Enjoy the best USDA prime cuts from hemp-fed cattle.
Yeah.
High Stakes. It's all yours, Foo. Take it away.
All right, cool. Thank God. All right, Foos. Josh, this might be something that might be right up your alley someday, man. There are several programming languages that have newly been created using emojis and emoticons. They are called Emojicode, Emojigramming, Emojicoder, and Emotinomicon.
Foo Facts. Foo Facts. That's kind of interesting.
Water Tea, Rise of the Numericons.
Water tea.
I care now. You made me care.
I care. Okay. Fun fact that might explain why the Foo always gets distracted and can't get back on track. Right, Fuze? Yeah. So here we go. Researchers in the new field of study called interruption science have found that it takes an average of 25 minutes to recover your focus after being interrupted by a phone call.
Foo Facts. Foo Facts. 25 minutes. That sounds about right.
I knew that one was for you, bro.
All right.
All right. This next Foo fact, the coffee break, as we all know, was invented in 1952 by the Pan American Coffee Bureau, the PACB. Before World War II, a work break was unexisting, Foos. It was not unheard of. The PACB spent millions on advertising, including the slogan, "Give yourself a coffee break and get what coffee gives to you." And now, Foo, everyone everywhere has work breaks.
Foo Facts. Foo Facts. What about smoke breaks? People were smoking since before that.
Nope.
They would just smoke in the office, huh?
Yeah.
And it's not until we kicked them out of the fucking building to smoke outside. That makes sense.
Exactly, Foos. They're like, well,
what?
I was agreeing with you.
Oh, okay. Go for it.
Okay, all right. Anyways, here's a nice treat, Foo. Yosemite Sam is actually known as Sam Le Pirate in France. There, he has a pirate persona as the default instead of the cowboy persona. Additionally, in other non-Western cartoons, he has other nicknames, including Square Deal Sam, Riff Raff Sam, and Seagoin' Sam.
Foo Facts. Foo Facts. Interesting.
My favorite's Riff Raff Sam, Foo.
Riff Raff.
Well, Steph, this one's for you.
Oh, let's hear it.
Actor Nicolas Cage allegedly bought an octopus for $150,000 on the grounds that he could use it as acting inspiration. He's also handsomely paid for a pair of cobras and a few dinosaur skulls, all for acting inspiration.
Foo Facts. Foo Facts. It's cool how he could get his hands on all of this cool shit except for the Declaration of Independence.
Ooh. We'll have to wait for National Treasure Part 3.
All right.
This one's going to piss everyone off who grew up loving, Fruit Loops, Foo.
Mm-hmm.
This is the most disappointing rather than funny fact that the individual colors in Fruit Loops cereal, Foo, all taste the same.
Right. Foo Facts. Foo Facts. That's true. I
actually stopped eating Fruit Loops when this one time we ran out of milk, and my grandma was just like, "You don't have any milk," and we were all pissed off we didn't have breakfast, so she served it to us in water, Foo.
Oh.
And it was from that day forward I never had Fruit Loops again.
Oh man. Yeah, that's not how you want to. That's not how you want to go out.
Do you remember when Trix used to look like the fruit
instead of little balls?
Then I got lazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At the end of an era.
Yep.
No more little bananas, Steph.
Also, I'm told, I don't know how true this is, but I'm told that before our time, we're talking like pre-1985, I think, Cheerios, the circles were actually quite big, or probably the size as Fruit Loops. I don't know how true that is, but
the fuck?
Well, FYI there, yeah.
Ooh, we'll get some investigative research going on that.
All right.
I don't know, but for a limited time, they're shaped like hearts.
Oh yeah?
Right now, yeah.
Foo Facts. Foo Facts. There you go.
Damn,
You get
Steph,
one.
it's the price punch out of anywhere.
I know, man.
Everybody gets one.
Fuck. All right. Here's one I don't know. No one is entirely sure why, but when ducks quack, they produce no echoes.
Foo Facts. Foo Facts. So you mean to tell me if we take a duck into like a cavern that would normally have like a reverberous echo, it's not going to happen?
Yep.
All right.
They hit the acoustic sweet spot every time.
Food.
Dang. Unless it's anger.
Find a duck.
Yeah.
Hey, if you didn't know this, Foo, all the ducks at the parks are free. No one just wants to tell you that.
You're not allowed to touch them. They're federally protected. You can't touch the ducks.
You can kick the shit out of a goose, fucking assholes.
Geese are dumb.
Dude, there's some geese at my local park, Foo. They travel in packs, man. It's quite scary.
Yeah. Yeah, the regular show isn't fucking around.
Don't fuck around with them.
Just need to find them baby ducks, man, to save the day.
Save the day. Baby ducks.
Foo, here's one that's going to blow all of our minds, Foo.
Mm-hmm.
An almond is technically a peach, or at least revered as such because it's in the same species as peach, Foo.
Foo Facts. Foo Facts. That's weird. Is it because of the peach pit looks very much like a nut?
Yeah, they're in the same family. They're in the same nut family.
Oh, yeah? Well, get a load of this one. Try this one on for soys.
Uh-oh.
Did you know that a banana is actually a berry? Foo Facts. Foo Facts. It's in the same family as a berry. Like a strawberry.
I think previously we didn't directly make that statement, but I think I mentioned that all modern day bananas are just modified mutants because original bananas have seeds.
Yeah.
That makes
You
sense,
did
man.
mention
that.
Berries, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, Foo, you shattered my world.
You just shat on it.
Yeah, man. I hope you like these new and improved Foo Facts, Foo.
You just found a new website is what you did.
Listen, dude. You don't got to spill the trade secrets for the Federation here.
All right, Foo. You got one more to bring it home?
All right, Foo, I can do that.
Mhm.
All right, here we go, man. Gorillas are some of the most fascinating animals on the planet, Foo. But do you know their scientific or official name, Foo? I bet you think you do, but you don't. Their official scientific name in Western Lowland is gorilla, gorilla, gorilla.
Foo facts. Foo facts. So just calling it a gorilla is like a nickname?
So
Yeah.
what's Magilla? Is Magilla gorilla Magilla?
Exactly, dude. It's just
It's
wordplay at its finest, man.
a family species origin.
What
Magilla
the
gorilla.
fuck?
Magilla gorilla for sale.
Magilla gorilla. All right.
Cool, Foo. Well, hey, thanks for that bunch of Foo facts. I feel enlightened.
You're welcome, Foo.
Yeah. I don't appreciate all that clicking you were doing, though.
Clickety clack.
My bad, yo, but you know what? Who cares?
Touche. Well, Foo, we're going to miss you. Not during your sabbatical. Now, what are you going to be doing over at the Federation during this time off?
Foo, they got standardized testing going on, Foo.
Yeah, are they going to figure out whether or not you're worthy to stay in the Federation?
That's why I got to study, bro.
Okay, all right. Well,
Yeah.
well, good
Also,
luck.
Foo, all those damn classes are going to start stacking up too.
You have to take classes.
We have to take classes for the who's Foo.
Mm-hmm.
What is?
Who has their phone on?
Turn down
That's
your volume.
Figment of your imagination.
You gotta take all them Lamaze classes.
Yeah, I got to take the Lamaze classes and all the classes through St. Jude Medical, Foo.
Ah,
Oh.
yes.
I didn't
It's
know
gonna
an
be a pain in the
extraterrestrial ffederation even wanted to know about any of that.
He's
But
trying
okay.
to learn these human ways.
Okay, got it. You got to.
I need to learn surgery, Foo, for one day. I won't tell you why, but that's all you get.
Damn, he's just gonna
He's
rip
gotta
that
assimilate
baby right
food.
out of her.
Well, protect your ass, everyone.
Straight out of a horror film, dude.
Yep.
Watch out for them probes.
Yep. All right, Foo. Well, we'll see you back in mid-April, right in time for 420, I guess. Does that sound about right?
Shit, dude. Yeah, but I'm not partaking if you know when I'm
You
slaking,
fucking
Foo.
sissy.
Shame, Foo. Shame. Such a shame. That I knew you.
No, we didn't.
Change.
All right, cool. Well,
Change.
until then, everybody tune in next week for episode 224. It's going to be a doozy. And with that, thank you all very much for listening into the Foo Bar Show. Thanks for hitting subscribe, and remember to rate, review, and tell your friends like a fucking champion. You can always reach us and check out our merch at foobarshow.com. That's FOObarshow.com, and search FOO Bar Show on YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, and Instagram. Check us out, drop us a line, and we'll foo it up like a couple of foos. I've been Josie,
With the Foo.
Josh.
And Steph.
signing off saying, don't be